West running out of funds to cover all of its obligations on time in the late summer or early fall. Though some forecasters also warn weak revenue intake could mean a breach as soon as late May or June. Scott Carr, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel up 155 points to 41,739.
A breezy northwest wind, the dominant feature as we go through our Monday afternoon with more and more sun. But that northwest flow has cooled us back quite a bit to below average temperatures. 55 for the high. It's going to feel colder out in that wind. Tonight, partly to mostly clear skies. Winds fade quickly at sunset, but it's a cold night. 35 for the overnight low. Tuesday, partly sunny, 59. More clouds take over Tuesday night. Wednesday, periods of rain and thunderstorms. There is a growing concern about thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon that could easily go strong to severe. So we need to keep an update on that. 75 on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is here with same-day emergency service. They won't leave you stuck. The original Red Ribbon Garage Door Company, trusted in St. Louis since 1926. Call 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorstlewis.com. We've got 48 degrees. It feels like 37 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS on 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Monday to you. Ferris, first one in. Amy says, happy Monday, DGS. How about those Cardinals? How about it?
We'll take that, right?
Cardinals and the Blues.
You think they can go 162-0?
I think so.
Yep. I think it's doable.
That's the plan.
They can at least win their first 50.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a little light. I'd like to see more than that.
Let's just say I put a lot of money on that. So gonna need him to go 160.
Feeling pretty good about this.
No, I mean, it literally could not have started better.
No, I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to last. It doesn't mean anything beyond what it is, which is a really good start. But you haven't had many good starts the last few years. And, if you go get swept by the Angels this week, well, people aren't going to be feeling so good. But the fact that you went out and beat a pretty good team, too, like the Twins don't stink.
Yeah.
That's a team that's expected to contend in the AL Central.
Yeah.
So you beat a good team that ran three pretty good pitchers out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pablo Lopez is really good. Joe Ryan is really good. And so is Ober, although he was sick yesterday and looked pretty bad.
And we have Contreras and Wynn literally not hitting yet.
Yeah, they were 0 for. The two of them 0 for 23. It didn't matter.
The rest of the team just picked them up.
Didn't matter. Well, that's kind of the point, right? Like when the Cardinals have been good in the past, it's always almost unnoticeable when a player or two struggle. Because there's always somebody going. There's always somebody picking up the slack.
Which is what a team is.
Right. And in the past couple of years, that just hasn't been the case. So it was really noticeable when Goldie is struggling or when Arenado is struggling or when both of them are struggling. But, when 3, 4, 5 other guys are hitting okay, well, then nobody even notices that Contreras is 0 for 14 unless he's on your fantasy team.
Yep. I want to give a shout out to our buddies over at KMOV. I was on Great Day St. Louis this morning. Hopefully got to see it. I think we posted it on Facebook. But to Kent and Laura and our good buddy Matt Chambers, they were really cool. It's a nice place over there. They have new digs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll piss you off.
Like, this is fancy.
Yeah. And Beth, our very own Beth, her husband is one of the engineers over there. So he took me on a tour. And every room we walked in, I was like, son of a bitch, like this. Oh my God, this is so cool.
Nice and new and shiny.
Yeah, shiny. Smells like a new car. Cool though. DJS fans over there.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, Mutual Respect Society.
Very cool.
Can you, okay. So it has been just about to the day 1 year since my mom fell. It was opening day last year. And she died 4 months later. Now, I don't expect that to mean as much to you guys, the listeners, as it does to me, but just purely clocking time. that doesn't seem possible. That it's been almost a year,
Mhm.
right? I can't believe it's going to be April. Somehow this winter, and I'm not exaggerating, winter felt 6 weeks.
Mm. Those 4 months in between her falling and her passing away, what did those 4 months feel like? I'm curious. Because for me, watching you go through it, it felt like she was here for longer than that.
Yeah,
I agree.
The best analogy I can give is it felt the way when you have a really long dream and you wake up and you're like, I lived 2 years in that dream,
Mhm.
right?
Right,
That's how the whole thing felt, because I had to keep doing the show and I had to keep, being there for my family. But I was going to see her a couple times a day, and it was just the definition of surreal. And it was 4 months. 4 months is a long time to do that, but people do it for years.
Yep.
Yeah.
People take care of loved ones at home and in hospitals and in hospice for years. So I can't complain too much.
No, but it's still it has to feel like a time warp.
It does.
'Cause I know
good way to put it.
It wasn't nearly as long, but I felt that way when I was in Florida for my mom's surgery for like 10 days. It
Mhm.
felt like it was way longer than that, even though it wasn't.
Back to the Cardinals. So Busch Stadium was about half full yesterday.
Yep.
And I know we had some weather and, people maybe not wanting to get in the storms and things like that. But I just heard from someone who's in the know, who I trust, that a lot of it is some sort of a protest against Mo. Like, okay, let me just say it very plainly. I think St. Louis, we need to check ourselves. There's nothing wrong with criticizing the team. There's nothing wrong with criticizing ownership or leadership. The same way, it's our absolute God-given right to criticize the government. You get to do it. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just saying maybe right-size it. Kevin, you're great at this. Like, we have had it so good, and I just think that we don't really realize how good we've had it. Doesn't mean that you can just have a stinky team and everyone's supposed to be happy and put 46,000 people in the stadium every single time. But, a little bit of right sizing.
Well, I mean, look, I think the best way for fans to demand better customer service is whether you show up at games or not. Right? I mean, like, if you're
vote with your feet.
So that's I'm saying I don't have a problem with people doing that. I do have the issue with people that make it personal. Like, this is Mo's fault. Like, not really. It is to a degree, right? He owns his faults in there, but he doesn't set the budget. He doesn't determine what he's going to be allowed to spend. There's a whole group of people that does this. And I don't mind any customer saying, I want a better product. I think that's perfectly fine. But the lack of perspective when describing what things are irritates the hell out of me. Because I get people on Twitter all the time. It's like, this team's terrible. This is a brutal team. Like, no, they're not brutal. The White Sox are brutal. That's what brutal is. You don't know what brutal is here because you haven't seen it. You get one crappy sub 500 year, and all of a sudden, like, we're tortured. the poor, like, no, you're not. Like, you had 25 years of being good pretty much every year. Yeah, one terrible year, one mediocre year, and now we're into this, whatever this is going to be, and we don't know. This could be like last year. It could be worse, could be better. We don't know. But there's a lot of I do think it's perspective, and I'm not trying to pick like fights on generations. I do think it's a lot of the younger fan base that's like that, because the younger fan base doesn't know any different. If you're in your early 40s or younger, you probably don't remember this team not being a contender, because they've been a contender your entire life, early 2000s until now, until these last 2 years, really. So when that's all you know, I understand that, but you are allowed as a grown person to, I don't know, pay attention to what's happening in other places and how bad it is in other places. You're not in that. You're not in Pittsburgh. You're not in Kansas City. Kansas City had a nice little run and won the World Series and went right back to being kind of blah. And they were pretty good last year. Like, they had a nice turnaround, but they're not actually really good. They go 20, 25 years sometimes between good runs. I mean, name almost any other franchise. So I get it. You're accustomed to a certain level of living and you want to stay there. Nothing wrong with that. But you're also allowed to do that with some perspective, because fans in other places hear this and they're like, you guys are jerks. Like, if you're a fan in Pittsburgh and you hear Cardinals fans complaining, you're going to be like, guys, welcome to the real world, because this is what it's like for the most people. So I'm a little torn on the whole thing, right? Because I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with a customer saying, I want better service. I want a better product. And if you're saying this product is not worth my money as it has been, that's totally fine. I do think we're maybe making too much of Sunday, because Sunday was a day where huge storms were forecasted. People do tend to stay home when that is the case. And even then, 26,000 fans is bad here. A lot of teams would kill for 26,000 fans at a game. They're averaging 35,000 for 3 games so far. Now, granted, opening day is the sellout. The Saturday game was kind of mid-ground, right? It was about, I think it was around that, like 30, 32,000, something like that. And then Sunday was 26. This team has a concern about selling tickets. Like, they're not where they normally are in ticket sales at this point. And that's only going to change if the team is better. And again, absolutely nothing wrong with the customer asking for a better product, because you've allowed this by your support of the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this team doesn't have money to spend, doesn't make money at the end of the day if they're not pleasing the customer.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But you're also allowed to be rational about it. You don't have to be super emotional and act like a child that's not getting their way.
Amy says, yes, storms were forecasted, but City SC had a full stadium.
Sure, absolutely. And again, it's also a little bit newer product. And also, by the way, a much smaller stadium.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what the Cardinals had on Sunday would not fit in City's stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Too many people. So, and by the way, we also have to consider that's part of this too, is there are fans that probably would normally go to a Sunday Cardinals game. They're like, nope, we're going to City, because City's off to a pretty good start. They're still a little bit newer.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of Cardinals games, right? I mean, there are 162 Cardinal games. There aren't 162 City games.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, matches.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be in the soccer parlance there.
So I've been dying to ask you about the New York Yankees bats.
Mm-hmm.
So I am now, along with Tom Ackerman, an endorser for Underdog.
Uh-huh.
And Underdog is a sports app where you pick higher or lower. Kevin is going to make 8 funny jokes during the DGS.
Right.
Nope, he's going to make 12.
Right.
And so I made a decent amount of money over the weekend betting on the Cardinals and the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I made money because the Yankees have a cheaty bat.
It's not cheaty. It's legal. It's 100% legal. They wouldn't be using it in a game if they hadn't checked with Major League Baseball. If they were cheating, they would be hiding it and not being open about it.
Do you think everyone's going to have a torpedo bat?
I don't know. Like, this is the thing that I'm like, the logic to this is simple, right? What they did is they looked at a couple of players in the past and where they most often made contact. So they weren't getting it on the sweet spot of the barrel with the old way. So what they said was, hey, you know what? This bat that has the sweet spot lower, right? It's closer to the trademark. It's closer to the label. And that's where this guy, Anthony Volpe, tends to make more contact. So if we slide that down, he'll make harder contact if he keeps doing that. Well, Aaron Judge isn't using one of those things. Aaron Judge is still using the old school bat. And the reason is because he wasn't having that problem. He's able to get the sweet spot to the ball on a regular basis with the old way.
Remember when we were kids and the lore was if you hit the ball on the label, it broke?
Most of the time it would on a cheap bat. Yeah, that's for sure. And you don't want to hit it there because that is where bats are going to break. Now, where they're hitting it is above that, but not too much, right? So if you're hitting it with a traditional bat just above the trademark, the ball's not going anywhere. It's a pop out, it's a ground out, it's fly out. It's not good. It's not going anywhere. But if you move that sweet spot down, which is what they've done, that works for a guy who has that problem. But it's not going to make any difference for somebody that's already getting the real sweet spot of the old bat to the ball on a regular basis. And I'm interested in this because there's a lot of things about how you weight the bat, right? So the weight of the bat being closer to the hands should make it feel lighter.
Rachel, you bored to death.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
It's Kevin's so good at talking about this stuff. Like, even if I'm not sure what's going on, it sounds very interesting.
Like it's a simple physics thing, right? The closer the weight is to your body, the lighter it's going to feel. If you want to test it, pick up a 10-pound weight real close to you and then hold it away from you and tell me how much different that weight feels. That's what's going to happen with the bat. So it might feel a little lighter in your hands, even though it's the same weight as a traditionally end-weighted bat.
We all understand physics here, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Please.
could have skipped most of that.
Yeah.
Please now, come on.
So I think this is, I mean, I kind of did a mini rant on it on Twitter today, not about the bats, just about everything in general. Like, okay, so the Yankees hit a bunch of home runs in 3 games and the whole world's losing their minds. Forget the fact that Aaron Judge hit a bunch of those home runs without using the torpedo bat. Forget the fact that Milwaukee pitchers were throwing 89-mile-an-hour fastballs right down the middle all weekend long. We're just like jumping to this conclusion like it's the new wave of things. Can we just wait and see if it actually changes over time as opposed to it changed for 3 days? I feel like everything in baseball right now is just hyper what do you call it? Sensationalized. Like people are overreacting to, like, you know, in Boston, their star player is Rafael Devers, and he hasn't got a hit yet, right? Well, neither is Contreras, but in Boston, they're losing their minds. You know, there was an article that was a graphic put out by FanDuel. So this is a naming rights sponsor for the TV stations that air Major League Baseball games. And they put out a graphic that said, "Is Mike Trout cooked?" They put that out after 2 games. What are you talking about? 2 games.
Is he cooked?
A bunch of guys in Boston were railing about their star rookie who made the team. After 1 game, they're like, he's not ready. He sucks. And all he did was go 6 for 8 the next 2 days with a home run and a double. It's like, why can't we just calm down? Do we have to freak out about everything?
Wow. When Kevin Wheeler says that, you should listen.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
At the Williams residence, everything looked kind of the same from the outside, but inside their lives just got way happier. 3 years of inflation and debt had crushed them, but for the first time, they had the cash to secure their retirement, pay off bills, and plan their future. They didn't win the lottery exactly. They did a genius financial strategy called the Sell and Stay program from Truehold. It's easy. Their home's value had rebounded greatly, so they quickly sold it to Truehold and banked all that equity in cash. But since they weren't ready to move, they could stay put with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold even paid their property taxes, home insurance, and essential home repairs. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a Truehold offer now while your home's value is high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out after your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Anderson is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Find out why Renewal by Anderson has the most 5-star reviews in St. Louis at RBASTL.com or call 314-332-1957. RBASTL.com.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
.124 DGS on KMOX. Hey, I lived out a fantasy. So I've told the story many times about going to Mrs. Opal's house with my mom so that they could crochet and I could slowly die. And Mrs. Opal always had, anyone my age and older remembers the box of ding-dongs, like a dozen dongs, and they were all wrapped in individual foil, and they were magic. And they wouldn't let me eat them. So that was just like my whole thing in my childhood. But I realized I've never owned one of those. And over the weekend, I was door dashing some groceries and I door dashed one ding dong and they mistakenly sent me a box. So now in my home next to my Keurig, I have a box of ding dongs.
I can take care of that for you.
Want to come over?
No charge.
Help me kill him.
Free of charge. I can take care of
Get rid
those
of that.
ding-dongs.
Just like get rid of that mouse.
And I have in the past year gone off on ding dongs and said they're inedible.
Yes, you have.
But they're completely different in the box. I don't know why.
Maybe it's just psychologically, you're getting what you always
No,
wanted.
they're so well. That's pretty good, Freud. But I hadn't considered that. See, I had it down to like the physics professor there, Wheeler, that in the regular ding dongs, it's two of them in a package.
Yeah.
And so maybe they're using up all their oxygen or something. And in the box, they're just individually wrapped.
Oh.
Yeah. So they can breathe.
Nice.
Well, I'm excited for you, Dave.
Thanks.
That's pretty cool. And I feel like whenever we talked about ding dongs in the recent past, I was sticking up for them.
You were?
I do buy them by the box, and they're quite good.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
You're living a life I don't even know about. You buy ding dongs by the box?
Yes, I don't buy the individually wrapped Hostess stuff that
It's a waste of money. So an individually
You're
wrapped.
all buying ding dongs by the box?
An individually wrapped. Hold on, Kevin.
No.
An individually wrapped ding dong from the gas station is like $1.89, $1.90 at cheapest.
Okay.
A whole box of dingers from the store
like
is
$4.
Less than that. It's like $3. I mean, it's so cheap.
we could resell them and quit this.
Just
loser
hang out
job.
outside the gas stations and be like, hey, these are more expensive in there.
Now there's a thought.
Yeah.
Selling Lucy's.
But if we're not selling the Lucy's for the same price as the gas station, we're not really going to be making that big a profit.
Well, I bet you could sell them for 50%, like for at
Yeah.
100% increase and still be probably half of what they're charging in there.
I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but if I pull up to Quick Trip and someone's trying to sell me a loose ding dong
Fair.
outside of the door, like I'm getting out of there.
Fair.
I'm not buying anything.
I mean, I don't remember asking what you
Loose
thought
ding
about
dong.
whether or not we would.
You
Of
didn't
course,
think she
you're
was-
not going to,
You
but
didn't
you're
think
not.
she was going to be on the team?
I thought she'd be on the team because you wouldn't do it, but you're not disgusting. I would do it. I think a lot of people would.
News,
All the headlines that matter to me.
weather,
If it's going to rain, I want to know.
traffic,
Well, nobody wants to be late for work.
and who brings you that information every morning.
This is Tom Ackerman.
I'm Megan Lynch. Hi, I'm Debbie Monterey.
I'm Roger Brand.
It's Total Information AM with everything you need to know.
What's going on in the world?
Weather reports are so important to start the day.
Tell me where the traffic is so I can get to work on time.
Total Information AM, mornings on KMOX,
Find out what's happening.
and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Big news. In 2025, Social Security will increase by 2.5%. Is that really big news? What does that mean for your retirement wallet? But now for the really tough questions. When and how should you claim your Social Security benefit? How does it fit into your financial future? There are several claiming options, and you don't want to leave money on the table. That's why it's important to work with a professional like Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group. Join Steve for an exclusive Social Security presentation at the All Financial Group office Wednesday, April 16th. This event is complimentary, but you do need to reserve your spot today. Call 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824, or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
I'm Tom Ackerman, and welcome to this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. This month we are talking about colon cancer, and joining us is Dr. Will Chapman Jr.
A patient is not having to go to 3 different office visits trying to manage the communication between different physicians as an intermediary. Instead, I can talk directly to my colleagues. We can quickly establish a plan.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The biggest piano sale of the year is being held at the Muni starting Thursday, April 3rd through Sunday, April 6th. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music, and every year Lacefield Music supports the Muni by loaning the Yamaha pianos needed for all their coaching, rehearsal, and performance needs. In appreciation, the Muni hosts an annual sale of all the pianos used during the season. In addition to the loan pianos, a huge selection of new and used pianos will be brought to the Muni for you to shop. New Yamaha Grands, Uprights, Clavinovas, and Disclavier player pianos, plus new and used Zyler, Kawai, Baldwin, Roland, and vintage Steinways. All will be offered at rock bottom prices. The event is at the Muni starting April 3rd. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are by appointment only. Sunday is open to the public. Call 314-860-2712 to make an appointment. That's 314-860-2712.
We take you now to Dave Murray's weather, and it's sponsored by Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty.
A breezy northwest wind, the dominant feature as we go through our Monday afternoon with more and more sun. But that northwest flow has cooled us back quite a bit to below average temperatures. 55 for the high. It's going to feel colder out in that wind tonight. Partly to mostly clear skies. Winds fade quickly at sunset, but it's a cold night. 35 for the overnight low. Tuesday, partly sunny, 59. More clouds take over Tuesday night. Wednesday, periods of rain and thunderstorms. There is a growing concern about thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon that could easily go strong to severe. So we need to keep an update on that. 75 on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sell your home with trust, confidence, and written guarantees. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty is St. Louis's real estate expert. Visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Today, the Cards, the Angels.
Cameron Total Access 550.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX 1041 FM. Dave Hines says, okay, I'm up to speed now. I agree. Got to buy the ding dongs by the box. Makes me feel rich when I open the pantry. I get that. That'd be a good Sweet 16. What simple life thing makes you feel rich?
Ooh.
Right?
I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
That's a good one for a future date.
It's like when I bought my new Jeep. It's not a new Jeep.
No.
2021, 40,000 miles on it, but it still smelled new.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm rich.
I think anything, like any big purchase that's new, you get that moment. You're like, yeah, I'm living it.
Yeah.
This must be what Elon feels like.
So Wheeler brought us Schnucks Donuts the other day, and he brought a couple cinnamon rolls. And on the break, Rach was saying, oh, man, I've been craving those cinnamon rolls. And I asked her, do you go for the crispy outer ring, or do you go for the more, I started to say sultry. I was going to say wet, then I was going to say moist. I'm like, those are bad. Then I'm like, sultry. Say sultry.
The cinnamony.
The center of the cinnamon roll, and you're a center girl.
Yeah, for sure.
And Wheeler said, oh, yeah, he said, this is one of my weirdnesses. I like to save the best bite for last. I'm like that with pretty much just McDonald's.
Oh.
Because with McDonald's, not so much these days, but back when I used to do it face to face, I would get a cheeseburger, a hamburger, fries, and a soda. And I always save the cheeseburger for last because I'm the least hungry at the end. So I want the best thing.
Yeah.
Make sense?
I get you, but yeah, it's not my reasoning, but I every meal pretty much, I try to save the best bite on the plate for the last bite.
Same.
So like always eat my veggies first because everybody loves those.
Can't believe you eat veggies.
I do. You have to. You know, you gotta stick around for a little while. You know, so those go first. See ya. Done.
What kind of veggies you eating?
Broccoli, carrots, peas, corn. Corn doesn't really count.
Dork.
Yeah.
Dork.
Yeah.
What do you mean corn doesn't count?
It's not really
boy.
a vegetable.
You stepped in it there.
That's
It's
like
a
the main.
starch.
That's like the main vegetable I eat.
It's more like eating bread, but it's okay. It's in mixed vegetables, so we'll count it.
Well, cornbread is good too.
Yeah, it is. It is. But like last night, I made burgers at home. I was telling Andrew earlier, like big 3rd-pound pub burgers. We grilled them up, and I definitely did that. I ate around it to get to that one last one that was going to be perfect.
This
And
is what
it was
I
perfect.
love about this show. Like KMOX in the past has been like World War II is broken out, and now we're like no, corn's more like bread than vegetables.
Yeah,
and we're all like,
I do that with Pop-Tarts too. I eat the crust around the edge first, and then
now
eat the
that's
good
crazy.
stuff.
now you're starting to seem normal.
Yeah,
You should do this more often.
yeah. I mean, it's only food. Well, I have other weird.
Hold on,
things, but-
that's normal. That's crazy. Eating the edges of the Pop-Tart
Yeah.
and then
No,
we're
that's
like
why he
because
seems
the
normal.
edges are the worst
'cause he
part.
has some
clockwise
craziness.
spiraling your way. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying now, Dave. No, I still don't think that's normal. I still don't think clockwise spiraling your way through a Pop-Tart is normal. I think
Oh,
that's
it's
insane.
super normal, and it's the best.
That's how I did it. How I eat everything. I skin everything. Like
Go around
Buffalo
the
Bill.
edges.
Yeah, like you should see what I do to a Snickers. It's obscene.
Really?
Yeah,
It's sultry.
You know, people will do that.
it's sultry.
You know, like with
dissecting them.
the Reese's peanut butter cups, they did that for a while. Like, how do you eat a Reese's? You eat the whole damn thing at once. That's how you eat a Reese's.
When I eat, for example, a Butterfinger, I'm just stuck. Not stuck. I do it on purpose. But at the end, I'm just holding a naked Butterfinger. All the chocolate's gone.
Oh, that
And-
seems like a mess.
And with a no, it's a mess with a Snickers.
Okay.
It's like skinning a person. You just got the organs. Like Snickers, the nougat
Yeah.
is off-putting.
Yeah, it's also kind of messy.
Yeah, but I still do it.
Well,
I can't just take a bite.
Hey, look, I got somebody on the Amy's on the text line saying she does the same thing with Pop-Tarts. See? Not that weird.
Brian says I feed the edges to my dogs since there's no flavor.
Oh, come on. There's something there. Because
There's-
usually,
yeah, no,
usually
there's
they got a
flavor.
little frosting and stuff on
'Cause
there. Just a little bit.
There's flavor because you have to eat. You have to eat the base to appreciate the add-ins, right?
No.
You have to eat. Yes, you have to eat the base, and then you're like, okay, this is what the base flavor is, and then everything on top of that, your strawberries, your frostings, your sprinkles, your whatever, that is all dependent on the strength of the base,
I tend to
the foundation
think
of your house.
of Pop-Tarts as being a little bit kissing your sister. Like, I get it, they're a pastry, but they just don't make it.
Oh,
They
love
just don't
Pop-Tarts.
make it. They're a little too dull and boring.
Do they make like the double stuff Oreo version of Pop-Tarts?
They should.
Because if they
Should.
don't,
That's
I
the
mean, that's a
problem.
winning idea right there. Give me more stuff.
They don't want to give away that they know what we'll pay for that filling already, and they don't want to give us any more.
There's
But
one
I would pay more for it.
there's one answer to this question I'm about to ask. what is the perfect ratio of ingredients in any food item? You know what it is.
It depends on what
No,
the
it
food item is.
No. You love them.
What?
You love them.
Oh, you mean what food has that?
Yes. What food
it's
has
the peanut butter cup?
It's the peanut butter
Yeah.
cup.
Yeah.
Yes. Although I probably would go with would like the Reese's Christmas tree
Yeah.
or egg be better than
Yes.
the cup?
Yes.
If you're a peanut butter lover, yes.
Yes.
I personally,
And the big cups are the
yeah,
best.
I love the big cups because you get all that peanut butter, but then you get the extra chocolate too. It's like a nice thick chocolate.
Remember when I bought you the one with
crust.
the potato chips?
Oh yeah.
How's that?
You know what they should
Delicious.
make?
They're good?
They should make naked peanut butter cups and just the peanut butter, no chocolate.
Jiffy does that.
What?
I mean, it's just peanut
You gotta
butter.
mix. You gotta mix stuff in there. It's not just peanut butter.
That got all of us. All
The
three of
peanut-
us went, they do?
Is it Jif or Jiffy? Now I'm having a Mandela
there's
moment.
Jif both.
It's Jif.
There's both?
No.
There's Jiffy peanut butter,
You
isn't
think
there?
there's
No,
Also?
there's
Skippy.
Jif peanut butter and there's Skippy.
Okay.
Yeah, Jif
That
and-
may have
Jif
just
and
explained the
Skippy.
Mandela
Yeah,
effect.
yeah.
Okay. You guys want to play this or that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Rach,
Okay.
comfort foods,
Oh, okay.
stroganoff or lasagna?
Oh man, we're starting out with like two of the best, but I have to go lasagna.
Lasagna or chicken and dumplings?
Lasagna.
Lasagna or grilled cheese and soup?
Ugh, lasagna.
Lasagna or pot roast?
Lasagna.
Lasagna or cheeseburger and fries?
Man. Okay, I'll go cheeseburger and fries.
Cheeseburger and fries or steak and potato?
Steak and potato.
Steak and potato or spaghetti?
Steak.
Steak or hot pizza and a cold beer?
Ooh, steak still.
Steak or chicken wings and a McDonald's Coke?
Oh yeah, that.
Going
The
that?
chicken wings and the
Has anyone
McDonald's
ever
Coke.
had that? Did I just make that
No.
up?
That sounds incredible. That sounds like the best thing I've ever eaten.
I shouldn't admit this, but I am known to go to two different places for two different things.
Yeah.
So I'm not above grabbing some like Little Caesars wings and then going to McDonald's.
Chicken wings and a McDonald's Coke or Thanksgiving dinner?
Chicken wings and a McDonald's Coke.
Chicken wings and McDonald's Coke or breakfast for dinner?
Chicken wing.
Okay, there you go. There's your comfort food.
Man, I might have to do that sometime.
We should all do that.
Okay.
Let's do it together.
I'll bring the Cokes. You
Uh,
guys bring the wings.
Andrew,
Yes.
breakfast foods. Bacon and eggs or biscuits and gravy?
Biscuits and gravy.
B&G or eggs Benedict?
Eggs Benny.
Benny's or a breakfast sandwich of your choice?
Benny's.
Benny's or waffles?
That is tough. Waffles.
Waffles or pancakes?
Waffles.
Waffles or a skillet of your choice?
Waffles.
Waffles or an omelet?
Waffles.
Waffles or cinnamon rolls?
Oh no.
Waffles.
Waffles or French toast?
French toast.
French toast is a real like.
Yeah.
I don't like it very much.
See,
Oh,
there you
I
go.
love it.
And I love it too.
Yeah. Eggy bread, as it's sometimes known.
No, it's not.
For real?
Yeah. Because it's like just bread
Just
and
you
eggs.
and your dad call you that? Call it
No,
that?
it's called eggy bread. I think they call it that in like jolly old England.
No, they don't.
I think they call it eggy bread.
French toast or a breakfast burrito?
French toast.
A French toast or chicken and waffles?
Ooh, chicky waff.
All right, there you go. Chicken
Yeah.
and waffles.
Hard to beat chicky waff. I didn't get any at Kegs and Eggs because I kept every time I would go up there, they were in between chicken swaps.
Yeah.
Ah, it was devastating. was
I didn't
excited for that
have
chicken
one
wap.
bite of food at Kegs and Eggs.
The food was good.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
know that.
it was good.
I had 18 beers.
And that's all the nourishment you needed.
Wheels, greatest athlete of all time.
Ooh,
Brady or Jordan?
Jordan,
Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan,
Jordan or Steph Curry?
Jordan,
Jordan or OJ Simpson?
Jordan.
Jordan, I feel you got to put the murders aside.
Best car chase ever, OJ.
Jordan or Jim Thorpe?
Jim Thorpe.
Thorpe or Dick Butkus?
Thorpe.
Thorpe or Dan Marino?
Jim Thorpe.
Thorpe or Usain Bolt?
Jim Thorpe.
Ali.
Jim Thorpe.
He really gets stuck on one.
Who is Jim
That's
Thorpe?
who he simply thinks is the best.
Old school. He's like Olympic athlete, professional football player, professional baseball player, like one of the original multi-sport athletes who was
One of the
great at
first
all them.
Native American
Yeah,
athletes.
And he would run in the Olympics in like bare feet or like these tattered old shoes that were like hand-me-downs.
That's cool.
Jim Thorpe or Pele?
Jim Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe or Gretzky?
Jim Thorpe.
I just like hearing him say Jim Thorpe.
Yeah. Me too. It's got a good sound to it.
Jim Thorpe or Serena Williams?
Jim Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe or Michael Phelps?
Jim Thorpe.
Okay, there you go. So, wings and a McDonald's Coke, chicken and waffles, and Jim Thorpe. Those are the big winners.
Jim Thorpe.
Not a bad trio, I'd
Thorpe.
say.
Jim Thorpe.
It's gonna be my new answer to everything. Just Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe. We're just faking you. Not a break. Let me tell you guys about Michael's Baths. And I just had the jingle of one of Michael's competitors in my head, but not a jingle does a company make, or you know what I'm trying to say. So he does the same thing as Bath Fitter and 3-Day Kitchen and Bath and Jacuzzi Bath. They put in a brand new bathroom for you in a couple of days' time. Could be one day, might be 3, but it averages out to a couple of days. Now, the beauty of it is that we are local. We are family owned and operated. Now, not every local business is good, right? There are some local people who are just not good at what they do. But I think you'd agree with me that in general, especially being here in St. Louis and all fighting for each other, that it's nice when you can keep your dollars local. By going to Mike, you're going to be supporting about 20 different local families. He's really, really good at it. He's a really good guy. He has a firm handshake. He looks you in the eye. If anything goes sideways, he's going to call it against himself and make sure that you are happy, especially if you're from the DGS. If you're a disabled veteran, thank you for your service. You can get a brand new bathroom remodel for free through a VA benefit. Mike does them all the time. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Make reservations for the 2025 Women of Achievement Luncheon, presented by KMOX. This award luncheon takes place Tuesday, May 13th at the Ritz-Carlton, St. Louis, and celebrates 10 outstanding volunteers from across the St. Louis metropolitan region. Doors open at 11:15. The luncheon runs until 1:30. Reservations are $60 per person. Sign up and find more details now at KMOX.com/events.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems. And we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
148 DGS. The stream is pushing back in the this or that game. I did not mention Bo Jackson.
Yeah, Bo should be in there.
JR says that Bo Jackson, Jim Brown, Jim Thorpe, and Jordan are his Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, Jim Brown's on that list too. He was also like a world-class lacrosse player.
He was mean.
In addition, yeah, he was definitely mean, but a good mean. Well, off the field, not good. It's some domestic abuse issues.
More of this.
Yeah.
Today's National Farm Worker Day. Am I the only one on the team that worked at a farm?
Yep.
I think so.
I am so happy I worked on a farm. Rach, you have something on the Google Doc. Is it all a simulation? The answer is yes. But this makes me think of that because in my weird thinking, all agnostic-y and simulation-y and wondering how my life stacks up to other people's lives. And I think it was a Rick and Morty episode I saw once where it turns out that they're just playing a video game like at a Dave & Buster's, and you just pick the Rachel Zimmerman life. Like, hey, let's get crazy. I'm going to be Kevin Wheeler. And when I look back on my life, I think if this really is a video game that I'm playing, I chose well. Because it's very textured. Like, I like the fact that I worked on a farm. I don't like the fact that I've had terrible things happen to me in my life. But if I were to die now and go before the tribunal and they're like, none of it was real, but you had the experience. Did you grow from it? Did you evolve from it? Did you learn your lessons? Did it teach you about treating people better? I would say 100% yes, well done. How about you guys?
Just looking back at my entire life, I mean, I get what you're saying. There are definitely things I look back and I'm like, I wish that was different. I wish this choice was different. Even choices that were made for me, like as a kid, but you can't go back and change any of that. And if you took away any of the things that, I pine about and I'm like, oh, I wish that was different. Well, then I wouldn't be in the exact place that I am now. I'm not saying I'm in the perfect place, but I'm in a wonderful place.
Right.
And I wouldn't want to trade any of the things that I have. And I keep hearing this phrase, like a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. And I find that like incredibly comforting. Like when you're going through something harder, when you're faced with a challenge, it's like, this is for a big reason. I think, at the end of this, I'm going to be tougher.
You should have just pretended to make that up because it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could have made one different decision in 8th grade and right now you could be on the Mark Reardon show.
I mean, maybe.
That scared Wheeler.
I mean, I know that I made that. Your decision of where to go to college can be that.
Yeah.
If I didn't choose Miami, I don't have the life that I have. I didn't play college baseball at Miami.
I don't have
daughter. None of it.
You probably have some crap kid with some crap wife.
Yeah, I'd probably be a big loser.
Some loser daughter.
Thank you, Miami. But yeah, you don't. I mean, this thing you don't know.
What intrigued you about the simulation theory?
There's just a scientist who has come out and he's like, I have the answer and it's definitely a simulation. So it's like, oh, okay.
Well, I read this article.
Yeah.
All right. So how's he proven that?
The second law of thermodynamics, I guess. I kind of skimmed it. I didn't get
It's okay. You're on it.
I've got it printed out here somewhere.
My problem with those articles is that
Jim Thorpe.
I want to read them and then I get to the second law of thermodynamics and I'm like, I'm not smart enough to understand any of those.
Yeah, I gloss over a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Just give me the bullet points.
He says he found the source code of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not able to explain what that is.
So
I apologize.
Here's a brand new one just out this past week that many astronomers believe that there is some suggestion, not proof, but suggestion that our whole universe is within a black hole in another larger universe. And they're basing this, and I don't understand why this is significant, but they recently did a study of all the galaxies that we can see. And 2/3 of them are rotating either clockwise or counterclockwise, I forget. But 2/3 of them are going in the same direction. And they said, given everything else we know about the universe, it should be just about 50-50. Like there's no reason that most of them should be going in one direction unless we are in something that is spinning that direction. And that could be a black hole.
Well, what if there are galaxies that we can't see that even out that number?
Could be. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why it's difficult for me with all
Jim
this
Thorpe.
stuff. It's hard for me to be like, oh, that's 100% the answer, because it's like, I don't know. We're just going off of like the math we know, the physics we know. There could be things that we haven't figured out yet.
Yes.
Oh, there most definitely are. I mean, in 20
there's
years,
tons of things.
in 20 years, there will be things figured out that are not currently solved. Just like 20 years ago, we didn't have some of the things we have now.
Mm-hmm.
That's my science.
That's
Jim
my
Thorpe.
science. I like that phrase.
That's my science.
That's my science.
Yeah. It's very Trumpy.
We learn stuff as we go. Science.
Wheels, I've written down New York Yankees, 8 years. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah. I don't
Anything
know.
come to mind?
Ask him again in 20.
Is that your
Yeah,
8-year
I'll
goal?
know in 20 years.
To be on the New York Yankees?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Speaking of a very textured life, that would be quite impressive.
Yeah, right? I've told this story before, but when Fee was little, we were taking a walk, and I said, so she's like 4 or 5. I said, what do you think would be a good life? And she stopped and she thought about it, and she said, I think one like yours, because you have so many crazy stories.
Mhm.
And I thought, it's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
If you get to the end of life and someone's like, tell me something crazy, and you're like, I got nothing.
Yeah, give me a Rolodex.
You know who lived that kind of life?
Jim Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe.
He lived the life.
Okay, I'm going to do a live here for Underdog Fantasy, and it's my very first one, so bear with me. A lot of moving parts on this. As I said earlier during the body of the show, I downloaded the Underdog app, and they taught me how to do it. It's pretty simple. And I was doing it over the weekend, and I had a blast with it. I love watching Cardinal baseball. I love watching baseball in general. But when you are, have a little skin in the game and have a chance of winning a little money, it makes it even more fun. So, baseball, you can choose that Nolan Arenado is going to have higher or lower than 1.5 base hits or RBIs, or the starting pitcher is going to get 5 strikeouts. You say, no, there's no way. He's going to get higher than that. No, he's going to get lower than that. And you can win money based on that. You can play as little as $1. And if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So you download the Underdog app, sign up now using the promo code Glover. I would appreciate if you guys would do that. Unlock a special offer for up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code Glover. Claim your special offer today and get $1,000 in bonus credits instantly upon your first deposit. I already had a couple of friends do that. Must be 18 or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates, which you guys should be good. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Have fun.
Warmer spring weather is right around the corner, and now is the time to plan your home's exterior renovation project. Banner Construction is booking now for homeowners to be first in line for beautiful James Hardy siding and Pella replacement windows. Beat the price increases and plan your project now. Visit bannerconstruction.com or call 314-569-1050 to get a free in-home design and estimate. Call 314-569-1050 and have a banner day.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
First time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all the fatherhood's first, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The Biz Dash returns as St. Louis's healthiest happy hour. Combining fitness and fun, it's a perfect team bonding activity for any size business. All levels of runners and walkers are welcome. Join us this spring at Energizer Park, home of St. Louis City SC, for the 10th year of the Biz Dash, the ultimate office party and kickoff to summer. Thursday, May 22nd at Energizer Park in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
The Zoo softball takes on top-ranked Texas in a huge weekend series. It's a weekend full of big promos, including free ice cream, a sunglasses giveaway, and post-game autographs, all during the final game of the series on Sunday Fun Day. Tickets are only $15 to watch this big-time softball. Make sure to get yours today at mutigers.com/tickets. That's mutigers.com/tickets. MIZ.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 2 o'clock in mid-America. We've got a cloudy sky, currently 50 degrees downtown at the Arch. The Trump administration's new tariffs kick in this week.
The White House says Wednesday will be Liberation Day.
President will be announcing a tariff plan that will roll back the unfair trade practices that have been ripping off our country for decades.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt wouldn't say which countries would be impacted by the reciprocal tariffs.
Any country that has treated the American people unfairly should expect to receive a tariff in return.
And she says the stock market reaction isn't causing them to rethink their plan. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
A change in the lead speaker at a White House press event.
The White House Correspondents Association canceled comedian Amber Ruffin from performing at its annual dinner. The association says it wants to refocus the event on journalistic excellence and made no mention of Ruffin's appearance on a podcast by The Daily Beast, where she referred to the Trump administration as kind of a bunch of murderers. She spoke to the AP about the dinner last month.
And I feel like if I was careful, people who know me would say, "What's wrong with Amber? She's hurt or body snatched."
Amber Ruffin is a writer for NBC's Late Night with Seth Meyers.
Honestly, the comedy helps you work through how bad it is. So I'm doing a lot of writing.
Ruffin's comments drew angry responses from the Trump administration. President Trump is not expected to attend the dinner next month. The president of the White House Correspondents Association, Eugene Daniels, says he wants to focus on awarding colleagues for their outstanding work. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Happening now.
With us, Sonny and myself, because we lived through this with them, and get on board with what the future looks like. And having
The astronauts who were spending months instead of days aboard the International Space Station after an issue with their Boeing Starliner capsule are speaking for the first time after coming back to Earth.
but still, that doesn't mean that you're guaranteed success in anything, like we've said many times.
We'll continue to monitor this and have the latest through the afternoon. St. Louis Spanish speakers will soon have their own televised newscast.
Mantente conectado a Telemundo San Luis.
Angel Risi, the market manager for Telemundo St. Louis, says they are in the process of moving to Grand Center and will have a local Spanish newscast with sports and weather report later this year.
A newscast in our own language that we can, keep people informed, our community informed, but also most importantly to keep our community represented and have a voice for them.
Risi says Telemundo St. Louis has a 5-year contract with Grand Center. The offices are done, studios are being built. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Telemundo St. Louis is over the air, channel 45, also on most cable and satellite systems. The KMOX business desk getting ahead of the tariffs.
We don't get quarterly results on new car sales until tomorrow, but car shopping website Edmunds projects sales to total 3.8 million vehicles. That's a jump of 1% over a year ago and the strongest start to a year since 2021. Analysts say some savvy consumers are trying to get ahead of uncertainty posed by new tariffs set to go in place this week. Scott Carr, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel up 322 points to 41,906.
More and more sunshine returns as we go through our Monday afternoon, but we are dealing with the northwest flow. It's a little breezy to windy out there throughout the afternoon. 55 for the high, below average temperatures, and it's going to feel colder if you're caught in that wind. This is a quick cool snap. Tonight, partly cloudy. Let's call it cold. 35 for the overnight low. We will stay above freezing, though just barely. Tuesday, partly sunny, 59 degrees. More and more clouds come in Tuesday night, 53. Wednesday, a day of interest with periods of rain and thunderstorms. Some of these storms Wednesday afternoon could be strong to severe. It is an afternoon. We need to stay up to date on the weather on Wednesday, 75 for the high. In fact, Wednesday is the start of an unsettled stretch of weather the rest of the weekend into this upcoming weekend. But concerns growing about Wednesday afternoon. There's some fine tuning to come, but I'll keep you up to date. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by Interpark Holdings. The easiest way to park on game day is to park with iParkit. iParkit has the best game day parking garages in St. Louis. 2 iParkit garages are on Clark Avenue, right next door to the ballpark. Download the iParkit app and drive in and out using your license plate. Use iParkit for convenience and peace of mind. We've got 50 degrees. It feels like 40 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX 104.1 FM, KMOX to boot. So last couple of weeks, I was telling you guys that I was invited to be on a podcast called Mostly Superheroes with Logan and Sam, and I did, and it was really, really cool and really fun. We posted that for you online, and I reciprocated, and I invited the guys to come into KMOX, and they're here now. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Dave.
It was really fun. It really had a good time.
Yeah, this is awesome. Like, you were just in our world. Now we're in your world. This is pretty cool.
Your world's a little cooler. Like for real. Like it's in a basement, and it is just like Sam said, it's like a kind of a potpourri of everything, but it's got a really cool vibe. I really, really liked it.
Thank you. I was just telling Rachel we're on version 8 of our studio. So I guess we're counting version styles. You called this one like a cool radio style office, but also kind of a dentist office. I don't know what you're talking about, man. This is
if you
cool.
look up at the bright lights enough, you might feel the drill.
My dentist office looks just like this. So
yeah.
So introduce the podcast if I did a bad job of it back when I was on. So
yeah, no, I'm Logan Janis, host of the podcast Mostly Superheroes. 6 years, 300 plus episodes, 50 plus countries, variety talk show meets morning show meets podcast. So we do fan giveaways we're St. Louis born and bred. So we have St. Louis guests, St. Louis sponsors, friends of our show are like Four Hands and the Gramophone and all these fun people. And Team Jakey, who we're here to talk about today, is a friend of the show and a sponsor of the show. And Sam is on the show. So that's me. I'm Logan, Mostly Superheroes. Sam.
Yeah, I go by Sam the Sleeper on the podcast. And, the first time I was on that podcast, he told me, hey, go see this movie. And I fell asleep through the movie like 8 different times. And I came in to do the podcast. I was like, you guys, I'm sorry. You're going to have to help me out
I
here.
slept through it. That's funny.
So therefore, the Sleeper.
I've
was
only
born.
fallen asleep one time at the theater in Chicago watching Chris Rock and Down to Earth. What a strange reference, right?
His was Black Adam with The Rock.
Oh, really?
That'll do it.
Oh, it's bad when an action movie gets you.
Yeah. Oh, it was brutal.
So talk me about the superhero thing. Like, is it really mostly superheroes? You mostly do that, or is it just a clever name?
Yeah, we started in TV and film. I'm a Marvel movie fan. I'm a rewatcher. I've seen Lost upwards of 15 times, and I love to talk about it, getting into the storylines, breaking stuff down. We started there, but we're really community focused now. We host a lot of in-person events. So the Mostly Superheroes, that's completely intentional. Like, you'll really catch us talking about movies. You'll catch us hosting our screened and social events at the Alamo Draft House, where we see movies with our fans.
Yeah.
We host TV and film trivia bingo at Four Hands.
Yeah.
And then we, of course, break down the movies, the TV shows, the fan contest, and community interviews, celebrity interviews, all in the show. So it's mostly superheroes.
So let's talk about nerdery. We're all nerds here. right? I'm more of a dork, but we're all nerds. I feel sorry for people who are not nerds. I really do. They miss out on so much of life. Like if you're the quarterback of the football team and you don't really know who Batman's top 3 villains are, like I feel bad. You've really missed out on a lot of life. Do you think that you're born a nerd? You think you're made a nerd? Like what is it about that we all fall into that allows us to enjoy our lives more than non-nerds?
I think that it's changing a little over time, and that a nerd just means you're really passionate about something and that you're willing to spend time in it.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're a NFL football player or a radio DJ, like you're a nerd about something.
Yes.
You might not even realize it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's the superhero
Just
side
diving
of
deep.
things. Yeah. But Team Jakey, man, we're partnering up. We're kind of working as a promotional engine to help Team Jakey. And I'd love to have Sam kind of open up. With
Yeah,
like,
Sam,
is that okay?
to
Talk
your
about the group a
level
little
of
bit?
comfort, tell us your story.
Okay. Oh yeah. So Team Jakey goes back 11 years after the suicide death of my twin brother Jake, and it just he was a lot like me, just a little better looking, funnier, and just charismatic as can be. Going to a party and just be just the guy you wanted to sit down and talk with. So it really just came out of the blue when he passed away, and right after that we started Team Jakey, and a grassroots organization, just a family that got together. And my uncle said, let's throw a cornhole tournament. That first cornhole tournament raised $2,400, and here we are 11 years later, and we've raised close to $500,000
That's crazy.
for two American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and Provident Behavioral Health in St. Louis.
Good on you.
So, sum it up, that's what
it.
we do.
And I always try to help, push, like I'm an outsider looking in. I got to know Team Jakey as a fan. That cornhole tournament is more than a cornhole tournament now. They do play cornhole. That's September 20th, a little far out from now, but it's still on the calendar. A helicopter landing, a SWAT team presentation. We have photo buses, magicians. There's probably going to be live music this year. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but things are happening, and we have some other stuff happening up sooner. But I always like to say, at the core of what happened with Team Jakey, the Zellers, there were 2 things that came out of it. It was a reaction. They grieved, and then they said, well, how do we talk to each other about this, and how do we talk to the public about it? So it was communication, talking about it. And then Mike Otten, late and great Mike Otten, Sam's uncle, passed away last year unexpectedly. He was the kind of the community chair lead that helped raise a lot of these funds at the event, and it was his idea to host that big event. So his reaction was get the community together and try to save some lives. So we're doing a lot of stuff, and we have a big collaboration starting with Alamo Draft House.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Is that okay? We'll
Yeah, you
tell
bet.
about that.
Anything you guys want to talk about?
This is kicking off tomorrow, April 1st at Alamo Draft House. Big shout out to Alamo Draft House. They started their program, Charity on Tap. So they pick a charity once a quarter, and they donate $1.50 in partnership with the brewery that they work with. So in this instance, Four Hands Brewing Company, our good friends at Four Hands, starting April 1st through June 30th, for every citywide American Pale Ale that you buy at Alamo Draft House, $1.50 goes to Team Jakey. So that's the big news, big clap. We're very excited. A lot of generosity here in town. And we're kicking this off with a happy hour this Thursday, April 3rd, 5 to 8 p.m. at Alamo Draft House. Team Jakey, mostly superheroes. And here's the big thing. If you drink citywide and you go to the Alamo and you're like, ooh, this might be me, first 100 patrons will get a limited edition koozie and sticker pack. We brought you guys all this stuff here today, here in the studio. I think we're on the camera. So we got these nice limited edition koozies. You'll get some stickers, first 100 people. So April 3rd, come out to Alamo and hang out with Team Jakey.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
How much has it helped you, Sam, doing this?
It's one of those things where in the beginning it was like just kind of going through the motions, just because you didn't know. It was just something like, let me figure out let's find a silver lining if there is one. And it was last year I gave a talk at Keeley Construction here in St. Louis about, suicide prevention and our story. And it was during that preparation for that talk that I forced myself to reflect after 10 years. And it was like the hardest 2 hours of prep that I've ever, I was crying through it. And I was like, wow, just forcing myself to reflect on all this and think about what had happened, why it may have happened, what I could have done better. And it's just from last year to this year, it has been monumental, life-changing, just epiphanies after epiphany. It's been great. And we talked about it on the podcast when you were on, more people, I think, would be happier if they did more outreach, not just donating money, but just more community outreach, more of their actual time doing something. It doesn't have to be suicide prevention, just be something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
So
what sort of changes in Sam have you seen, Logan, over the course of this?
Yeah, I think it's been really, really good for me personally. Like it's really changed my outlook on death. Like something that we all have to face. It's this uncomfortable part of life. There's an end in sight. We all know about it, but we don't really talk about it. And when people pass, and in general, it just kind of sometimes it can fall to the wayside. With Team Jakey, it's just been really good to see a family that just lifts up all these strong memories year after year, that they start to grow beyond that. It becomes like a new kind of grieving and a new kind of way of memorializing Jake, which is like, it always comes back to remembering Jake and trying to help anyone out there now. I think that, like, of course, I would say it saved your life, Sam. It saved the Zeller's life. And then the impact beyond that has been, the dollars raised are great, but we've had so many stories and testimonials of people that just heard us talking about things that you really can save someone's life. And Dave, I know you shared that personal story where that kind of happened with you. Someone heard you talking on the radio, and that it's just that simple thing of like doing something good, being in the community, and Sam always says it, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, willing to look this rocky road life in the face sometimes, and go like, oh wow, that was way less scary than I thought.
Yeah. It's so funny, Sam. I'm very similar. I'm not a big funeral crier, but I told you guys about the work I do with No One Dies Alone, and we had, I think, 15 people from the DGS volunteered to set vigil with people in hospice who are passing away, and they asked if I'd come in and say a few words. So after the show a couple weeks ago, I go in and I walk in and I just start crying. Like before it's even like, hey, I'm Dave Glover from the Dave Glover Show. Let me get a little personal here. I just start bawling. So isn't that weird that at someone's funeral, I'm stoic, but then I get in front of a bunch of strangers and say one syllable and suddenly it's just the waterworks. You just never know.
You never know.
You never know.
I mean, even as something as simple as like when like a pet passes. Like, I think I'm gonna,
I
think I'm gonna be tough.
I've
And then
never
like the moment comes.
No, I've never cried more than when we had to put Augie down. So that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You know why that is? Because they don't talk.
Yeah.
If they talk, we'd be like, I hate that freaking dog.
Yeah.
He's such a smart ass. But when they don't talk, you're just like, you're the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit more about the podcast. Let's lure people in. How do you get them to listen? What is it that you think is your like real hook?
Yeah, we pride ourselves and have paid attention to really good podcasts and radio shows like this over the years to try to keep you informed in the ways that we know you like to be informed. And we have a great newsletter. It's all at mostlysuperheroes.com. We have a Team Jakey page, and you can hear from Team Jakey on the podcast for the last couple of years and hear some stories from the group. So again, mostlysuperheroes.com. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you're just searching Mostly Superheroes. We're on YouTube. And then our community events, we plug our events at mostlysuperheroes.com/events because we're doing a lot in that space. And pretty much at this point, Team Jakey and Mostly Superheroes have just teamed up as like kind of a, Max Otten said it. He's Mike's son and Sam's cousin, and he's on the board of directors with us for Team Jakey. He said we're kind of the fun uncle when it comes to mental health. We have these great friends and resources at AFSP Missouri and Provident Behavioral Health, who has done the hard work to get 988 up for anyone that's struggling. You can call 988. You can text 741-741 if you're struggling. Like, these are resources that we get to use to get to the community. And that's really like someone like Provident in town who's doing a lot of work. That's how we can help them get into the community. So I always like to say, like, we're doing fun stuff like, ooh, a shiny helicopter, ooh, TV and film, trivia bingo, movies. And then we're kind of like, how you doing? And it's okay to be like that. And we're not going to pry. Maybe you come to 5 events before you ever open up. And that's kind of what we're counting on.
Yeah.
So we really challenge you to go check out the events at mostlysuperheroes.com/events. Team Jakey is on Facebook, and all the events are on Facebook. And this is a teaser. We're going to announce it soon, but we bought the domain. It's teamjakey.org. If you go there now, nothing would happen, but the website's coming.
And when is your big event? It's September.
Oh yeah, September 20th is our flagship cornhole tournament, so keep an eye out for that. But more on the horizon. We mentioned the April 3rd happy hour at Alamo. And then a big event that you guys have done over the years, Sam, you can talk a little bit
Yeah.
about Taps for Team Jakey.
Taps for Team Jakey was an event we used to have many years ago. COVID kind of put a damper on that. So we're bringing it back May 22nd at Four Hands in the tap room downtown. So come out, enjoy the day with us. It's going to be, late afternoon, all night. Just come out, have some beers for the cause. It's going to be a really good time.
Nice. And on the 20th, the DJS is going to donate one of our Cardinals experiences where you can go to the game with me. I'll take you down pregame and show you batting practice, bring a couple of baseballs with you, get them signed by the players. Then you'll sit behind home plate, about 22 rows back. And then usually around the third inning, I'll take you up for a couple of innings in the KMOX broadcast booth.
Dave, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Yeah, you're welcome.
That is, we've always Team Jakey's always prided ourselves on the world's best prizes.
There you go.
Like, very
That's
good.
a good
prizes.
one.
This is a great start.
That's a great start.
Yeah,
So
for the year.
You can watch for prizes like that at the Cornhole Tournament, September 20th, and at Taps for Team Jakey. We'll do May 22nd prizes, raffles. There will also still be like a photo bus there, a magician, some live music. That's May 22nd at the tap room. And man, get you an awesome Cardinals package with a tour.
Nice.
So thanks, Dave.
Maybe you guys will be there. That'd be great.
Hey.
It costs extra for him.
Yeah. I'm a troublemaker.
Tim Thorpe.
I break stuff.
Well, it's great to meet you guys and continued success and an open door here anytime you need it.
Thank you so much.
You're
It was
very
great.
And Kevin and Rachel will get you guys into the studio and Mostly Superheroes and come
Just
nerd
not
out with
Andrew.
us. And Andrew. Andrew's our guy, actually. Andrew's our
He's
main
the-
guy.
he's the target, right?
Andrew's the only person I have the email for. So
Do you know about the true crimes that inspired a Bruce Springsteen album? Or the murders AC/DC was blamed for? How about Taylor Swift's Violent Stalkers? Or the suspicious deaths of Brittany Murphy and River Phoenix? These stories and more are told in the Disgraceland podcast, hosted by me, Jake Brennan, every Tuesday, where I dive deep into subjects from the dark side of music history and entertainment. So follow and listen to Disgraceland on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
One of the coolest things about the show, to me personally, selfishly, is my relationship with so many doctors and so many doctors that I represent. I have a little medical thing going on right now. No big whoop, nothing sinister. It'll be gone in a week, no biggie. But just having a doc you can call and be like, hey, man, got this thing going on. Yeah, come on in. Let's take care of it. It's so great. The next time that you have a need for an orthopedic surgeon, and it doesn't have to be like a terrible, terrible thing. It can be like what Amy had, where she rolled her ankle on a gumball. Well, we now know that in the world of sports medicine, many times it's better to get a clean break on an ankle or something like that than to tear and rip tendons and muscles and so forth. So even if it's just a sprain, get in there early, get in to see Dr. Corey Solman. He is a great surgeon, but he's not a cutter. He's not looking for his next chance to make 20 grand on a knee replacement. He's looking to take care of his patients. He's out in Chesterfield. You can call 636-231-5881 or visit SolmanOrthopedics.com.
Looking to give your bathroom an affordable facelift? Maybe you need your shower area to become a safer space for your family's needs. Here's Trish with a recommendation. Michaels can come in and give you a free quote. We'll discuss your needs and help figure out what would work best for your space and budget. Michaels Baths remodeled bathrooms all over the St. Louis region. 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the BBB. You'll love these guys. Michaels Baths, 888-775-0800.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley telling you about i3 Broadband. Are you thinking about upgrading your internet in your home? Probably a pretty good decision to do so if maybe you're with the cable company or you're with some of those big companies. i3 Broadband, it's amazing. They provide the home internet at my home super fast. They always mirror their upload and download speeds, which is a really big deal. You won't realize how much faster your internet can be. Plus, it's reliable. The customer service is great. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com.
Want immediate cash for your home or see what your home is really worth in today's market? Find out for free from the local experts, my friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. Check out thegelmanteam.com today. That's thegelmanteam.com.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
1120 AM, 1041 FM, and streaming on the Odyssey app. KMOX is with you, however you listen, wherever you listen.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Rachel, what do you want to talk about? You have lots of cryptic things on your Google Doc.
Yeah, I usually go in and adjust those. Those are like my titles, and then I adjust them for you, and I kind of forgot to do that today. Let's talk about the fact that H&M, do you guys know what H&M is, the fashion brand?
I only shop at H&M.
Okay. Used H&M.
Used another man's H&M. I want it cheap and I want it used.
So
Do you have any UH&M here at H&M?
They have come out and said that they are planning to use AI clones of their human models. So I guess what they'll do is they'll hire a model, they'll do some print shoots with them, and then they'll basically create avatars or digital twins of its models this year. They're still exploring how those avatars will be used, but people are not happy about this and saying, like, why would you take away jobs from people, even if, you know, you're buying their likeness and they're being compensated in that way? Why do I want to buy clothes from a non-human avatar, essentially? Because that's what they're selling. They're selling you, like, that's what a model does, right? Is it's like, hey, this thin, gorgeous model has on this garment. Maybe if you purchase it, you'll look exactly like them. It is a little bit of a bait and switch there, but at least we know what's happening. At least we know they're human. For me, I go, why on earth would I look at what an avatar is wearing and go, oh, I want to look like them? That it's so far removed from what our brain can't make that jump like it can with the models.
Yeah.
Why in the world would people in modeling sell themselves out?
That's a good question too.
Because you're
Wheels.
basically just killing your own job in the future.
Well, I can only speak personally, but
I think I might be personally okay with this if they're being fairly, like, if they're being paid a bunch of money to sell their likeness to specifically H&M to make AI models of it or whatever. I understand for H&M what the benefit is, because that they don't have to schedule photo shoots. They don't have to, you know, schedule the models or anything. They can just whip up the AI thing and throw the shirt on it.
Better be millions of dollars.
Well, it's not going to be that.
No, I know, but you're selling your image to a company forever?
Yeah.
That should be millions of dollars.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
And like I said, your brain can make the leap of, oh, I'll look like Miranda Kerr from Victoria's Secret if I buy that tank top because she's a real person. But if you tell me, like, hey, this is even AI, like, I'm not going to be able to make that jump. I'm going to go, okay, I'm not going to be able to match up with something that you've digitally.
What if?
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be giving this idea away for free. Why do I do this? What if it was an AI of you? And it was your exact dimensions, and then you could try on anything from clothes to eyeglasses to whatever you want, and it was a true representation.
That makes a lot more sense, but then you're taking the risk of now my likeness is uploaded just like these models and these companies can, yeah, you know. But that, I think I would be able to make that leap a lot easier if it's like, oh, this is putting the clothes on me. That's actually kind of cool.
News.
All the headlines that matter to me.
Weather.
If it's going to rain, I want to know.
Traffic.
Well, nobody wants to be late for work.
And who brings you that information every morning?
This is Tom Ackerman.
I'm Megan Lynch. Hi, I'm Debbie Monterey.
I'm Roger Brand.
It's Total Information AM with everything you need to know.
What's going on in the world?
Weather reports are so important to start the day.
Tell me where the traffic is so I can get to work on time.
Total Information AM. Mornings on KMOX.
Find out what's happening.
And always live on the free Odyssey app.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Rockwood School District has openings and is looking for people who enjoy working with kids, child nutrition, cafeteria workers, custodial, grounds and maintenance, bus drivers, the Adventure Club. All of these great benefits are included, and a positive, caring, fun work environment. Competitive pay, part-time and substitute positions available as well. Flexible hours and shifts. The Rockwood School District, rsdmo.org/jobs.
It's time for Dave Murray's weather, sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company.
A breezy northwest wind, the dominant feature as we go through our Monday afternoon with more and more sun. But that northwest flow has cooled us back quite a bit to below average temperatures. 55 for the high. It's going to feel colder out in that wind tonight. Partly to mostly clear skies. Winds fade quickly at sunset, but it's a cold night. 35 for the overnight low. Tuesday, partly sunny, 59. More clouds take over Tuesday night. Wednesday, periods of rain and thunderstorms. There is a growing concern about thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon that could easily go strong to severe. So we need to keep an update on that. 75 on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
At Penn Mutual, we believe that life insurance is the central part of a sound financial plan and that it can make an enduring impact for generations to come. Talk to your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. Penn Mutual, trusted for life.
How many of you think taxes are going to go up in the future? And if they do, who will be hit the hardest? Maybe it's you, headed for retirement. You've been saving in that 401k or IRA, and that money has never been taxed. And Uncle Sam is looking at that account like it's a big, juicy steak. What can you do about it? Join the All Financial Group for their Taxes in Retirement Seminar, Tuesday, April 8th or Thursday, April 10th at Stone Summit. They believe you can't have a retirement plan without a tax plan. So fund your retirement, not Uncle Sam's. Reserve your spot today by calling 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Today, the Cards, the Angels.
Ameren Total Access 550.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
The Bernie Nicholas Report is sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. The great Bernie Nicholas joins us. Hey, Bern.
How you doing today, Dave? Good to be with you as always, pal.
Doing well. It doesn't get. It could be short-lived, right? The Blues could crap the bed. The Cardinals could lose 10 in a row. But right now, let's enjoy it, right?
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, it was a great weekend for St. Louis teams and their fans. Even the Battlehawks opening the season, just destroying Houston at Houston. And the Blues are totally legit. There's nothing fluky about this. They're a dominant 5-on-5 team, and they're getting contributions from everyone. And the Cardinals came out like basically the same players, but kind of a new attitude, a new vibe, a new look, maybe a new style of play. And as far as an opening series go, I guess you can say it'd be pretty hard to top that performance over the first 3 games that the Cardinals showed.
Yeah, it's a good weekend when your best hitter goes 0 for 14 and nobody cares.
Well, I wish I could say that, but of course, we there are folks among us, bless them, who will always look for the cloud in the silver linings.
Yeah.
Always.
And not to state the obvious, but it is basically the same team, but they're a year older. They have another year of big league experience under their belt. They have another off season. Seems like a lot of them, most of them put a lot of work in. A lot of them bulked up, put on 10, 15 pounds of muscle. And so it makes a little sense that they're playing better.
I think they got the underdog vibe going. That can be an extra layer of motivation. It's pretty typical in sports, but it does work. It is effective at times. But the other thing, and this is my theory, okay, it's a theory. I'm not stating it as a fact. But if you saw the dugout all weekend and you just saw like the enthusiasm and the joy and the energy and just guys having a really good time, it was a huge contrast from the Cardinals team last year. Now, this is not a shot at Paul Goldschmidt. People will think it is. It's not. But he's a really serious guy, which he should be because this is his job. Nolan Arenado and Goldie were close. Nolan Arenado, very intense guy, beats himself up, gets stressed out all the time. So anyway, Goldie's with the Yankees now, and there's kind of like, well, this is a chance for the young players to kind of take this thing over and sort of make their personality become the overall team personality. And I saw that a lot over the weekend where it's like, wait a minute now, even Arenado is laughing and loosened up and having a great time.
Yeah.
And I really think there's something to that. I think there's a new vibe, and I think that it's a great it's a great situation. I love the chemistry, and real quick, it's kind of like the Blues. I'm going to tie it to the Blues. There is no doubt in my mind that the emergence of all these young players that have given the Blues more talent, more scoring punch, more playmaking ability, right? I don't think there's any doubt that some of the veterans were kind of energized by that. I mean, they just love it. It's sort of a thing that spreads throughout a team.
I think there are a couple other things early on, too. I mean, one, this is the whole team. And throughout a lot of last year, you weren't playing with your whole team, right? I mean, Nootbaar missed 50 games. Contreras missed half the year. So if this lineup can stay reasonably healthy, I mean, like they won 83 last year. Bernie, what do you think? 3-4 more wins if you're just healthy with the 2 guys I named?
I think that sounds reasonable.
So if this version of the team can stay healthy, and by the way, tip of the cap, because one of the people that's adjusted is the manager, because he's putting out lineups every day that you're like, all right, this is what this is what the Dodgers are doing. This is what the Yankees are doing. Lineups that fit how you can best maximize offensive potential, mostly just by putting OBP and stacking your best guys.
I agree with you 100%. And I think Ollie Marmol has seen the light on a few things. And, it's interesting. I'm not sure what prompted that, but I welcome it because actually, Wheels, you and I have been hollering about this for quite some time, Yeah,
and look, it's only 3 games, but consistently doing this type of strategy over 6 months, you will get a better result than if you don't.
There's no doubt about it. And I also, the whole thing is, everybody feels obligated to say, oh, it's early. Well, we know it's early.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, these are the only games we have to analyze. And whether they can maintain this or not is a huge question. They're going to have to prove it over and over and over again. There will be skepticism out there over this strong start. There'll be fans who love the team but aren't quite sure whether to believe that this is real. And so they're just going to have to win series. They're just going to have to stack up the series wins, and they're going to have to kind of basically prove themselves over time. But all I know is this. Coming into the season, what we were looking for was some evidence, some visual evidence, stuff we could see with our own eyes, whether this team would have a lot of energy, whether they would take much better at bats, whether they would be sharp mentally, sharp on defense. I mean, all the different things, swinging at strikes rather than letting them pass by, not chasing as much. You just wanted to see immediate evidence that this team could be different. And at least for 3 days, they were different. I mean, those were I saw at bats of those qualities that we saw this weekend, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. I never saw. I don't recall like a 3-game stretch where the quality of the at bats was so high. I mean, really, really good at bats,
and against good pitching. I mean, like that's something that we shouldn't
we
forget.
faced our
Like
3 top guys.
Like Pablo Lopez is a really good pitcher. Joe Ryan is excellent. Bailey Ober was sick. We didn't know this before, but turns out he had been throwing up and he had some kind of flu-like symptoms, so he didn't perform very well. But he's really solid. Griffin Jax is one of the most powerful, dominant right-handed relievers in the American League, and Arenado took him deep. I mean, like you did this against good pitching.
And I want to throw something out. You mentioned Arenado. I've been talking about this quite a bit. That his bat speed last year, when his bat speed was at its highest level in terms of miles per hour, that's when he had his best numbers of the year, and they were really good numbers. Nolan Arenado's bat speed has increased. It has increased, and it's not a fluke because he worked on it all off season, quickening his hands, which then quickens your swing. And last season, he averaged about 71 miles per hour. No, actually about 70.7 miles per hour. And he was 20, like he was in the bottom 28%.
Yep.
Well, actually, I have that wrong. I have that right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It. Yeah, you got it.
70.7 miles an hour would put him in the bottom 28 of major league players. Well, this year so far, 73%. That's a big uptick, and that puts him in the top 29% of major league hitters.
Right.
And this stuff is real. It's not something we're making up here. That home run he hit, his bat speed on that was 75.5 miles an hour. His doubles were averaged just about 76 miles an hour. So we're seeing him turn on pitches, and his hard hit rate is way up, and his barrel rate is way up. And it's not an accident. And this is why I kept emphasizing, hey, keep an eye on this. Because if he gets the bat speed going, he'll have a really good season. So far, anyway, so good.
Hey, guys, what would it take performance and situationally for them not to shop Nolan Arenado later in the year?
What do you think, Wheels? I think if they feel they're really legitimately in contention.
Yeah. If they're in it, I think they're keeping him. I mean, if you get to July and you're either in a playoff spot or you're within a couple of games, I don't see moving him. Unless it's some kind of like need for need deal, right? Like you're getting some benefit for now too, in addition to moving salary and all that. Because I think you can revisit all that other stuff in the offseason. But if you're in it, I think you got to play it out. And I think they would. I mean, that seems to be Bernie. That is the way that this front office operates, and that's certainly how ownership operates. When they're in it, they tend to try to stay there.
Right. And they listen, I didn't blame them for making the trades they made last summer. They were in it at the time. They were like a game and a half out of the wild card race, but then they had a bad opening stretch to August, and other teams got really hot, and then they kind of faded. But it's not like the Cardinals did something stupid by trying to maximize their win total. So no, it's interesting. But the thing about baseball, it's 162 games. You got to prove it all the time. You just got to prove it all the time. So the Angels come into town. They got a lefty on the mound tonight. Then Cardinal killer Kyle Hendricks pitches the second game. Then another lefty on Wednesday. Cardinals were not good against lefty pitchers. They're very rarely good against Kyle Hendricks. So my point being, as wonderful as that 3-game sweep was, just because of the way they played and how thoroughly well they played every area. If they stink it up and lose 2 out of 3 to the Angels, well, then everyone's talking about, well, maybe that was just kind of a fluke deal.
Yeah.
You know, that you got to prove it, man. And
So-
that's not being negative. That's just being realistic.
That's the season.
So back to the Blues. How much would you hate to pull the Blues in the first round as an opponent?
I think it would be awful because here I go again. They are an absolutely dominant 5-on-5 team, and 5-on-5 hockey is really effective in the playoffs because it's physical. If you have a great 5-on-5 system and you're executing it well, you're going to limit shots. You're going to get more scoring chances, more high danger chances, and you're going to control the puck more and do with it when you control it. And you're going to keep the other team hemmed in. And Jim Montgomery put in a new forecheck system a while back, and it's extremely effective. The Blues will be a major, major problem, the so-called tough out in the postseason. But I was looking it up over the weekend, and you know me, Mr. Research. This is the best 5-on-5 hockey the Blues have played, and this is a factual statement, since Craig Berube in 2019 after he took over the Blues, and we know how that ended. And I'm making no predictions. I'm just saying this is the best 5-on-5 Blues team we've had since that team that won the Stanley Cup.
And we should point out, too, that in the last few days, they added their top prospect to the mix. We don't know what his role is going to be or how he's going to fit in, but Jimmy Snuggerud's been one of the best college hockey players in the country the last few years. He was the Blues first-round pick. I think was it 2022, Bern? It was a few years ago.
It was.
But he's been a hell of a college player. He's a big guy, big right wing, big winger who can score a little bit. And again, we don't know exactly how they're going to use him. They had him skating at practice today on the third line and getting reps on the second power play unit. So maybe that's giving you an idea of how they'd like to, but he's going to have to show the ability to come in and help a good team. But that's a talent. That's a first-round pick. That's your top prospect that gives you another body. He literally just finished his college season 3-4 days ago.
Yeah, he's a
now
he's
in
a
the
natural,
NHL. Yeah,
he's a natural goal scorer.
Yeah.
I had a good friend of mine up in the Twin Cities said, who I trust because he knows hockey. He said Blues fans are going to love this kid. It doesn't matter where he is. He shoots the puck so well. He's so accurate. He can pick spots. I mean, his accuracy with his shots is just like throwing darts. Someone who's like a great dart thrower. And he said, tell Blues fans you're going to love this kid. He's the real deal. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. I have no idea if he's going to get.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll give him one game, and maybe they'll give him more. But that's Jim Montgomery's decision. I have no idea.
Bern, tell us about Saliga before we let you go.
Absolutely, my friend. Saliga Heating and Cooling's been taking care of St. Louis families, including the Mickleses, since 1927. Although they've been taking care of us in more recent times, the last 15, 16 years or so. And we have come to expect the best from this independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. We expect the best because they are the best, and everything about them. You check the boxes. Are they honest? 100%. Are they professional? 100%. How's their knowledge? 100%. Do they, when they're in your home to do some work, are they classy? 100%. The other thing is, all right, if they say they're going to be at your house to look at a problem you're having, and they'll be there with they'll give you a 2-hour window. Are they going to show up when they said they say they are? Absolutely, 100%. We've had nothing but great experiences with Saliga Heating and Cooling for a long time. I also want you to take a look at the Priority Club. It's a maintenance program. We have been in it for a long time. It has saved us money. It's also given us peace of mind. So you just read all the details by going to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. But it's a win-win for you on that. And the preventive maintenance is really, everything's safe, number one. And the other thing is, if there's a small problem, they can catch it and fix it where it doesn't cost much. If it becomes a big problem, then it's expensive. So this is a great American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. So I just can only give you what our relationship as a client has been with Saliga for a very long time. And we think the world of Dan Saliga and everyone over there. So go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. You'll see the phone number there. It's SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
One thing that might help winter to go a little faster is to start dreaming about spring and summer. How do you want to spend it? How about sitting out on your beautiful deck, soaking in the sun? Chesterfield Fence and Deck can make that come true for you. In fact, they can do fences, decks, patios, pergolas, retaining walls, you name it. They can do it in your outdoor space. So make this the year that your outdoor space is everything you've always wanted. Whether you want your backyard to be the center of your neighborhood parties, or you just want it to be some beautiful, quiet, peaceful respite all for yourself, or somewhere in between, Chesterfield Fence and Deck does free design work. They'll do free in-home estimates. They'll come to you, or you can check out their absolutely gorgeous showroom in the Chesterfield Valley. Mention me, Debbie Monterey, and they'll give you 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project. It's Chesterfield Fence and Deck celebrating 57 years as a locally owned family company. ChesterfieldFence.com is where to find them online.
Get ready for a country music extravaganza. It's Clint Black coming to Family Arena this April 12th. KMOX has your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Clint Black.
Now I'm walking in the moonlight, seeing nothing but the tail light.
Register now at KMOX.com/contest for your time to win.
Nobody's home.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
I met my wife in law school at the University of Florida. She was from upstate New York and I was from Kentucky. We met at a daily mass at St. Augustine's. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. After communion, I followed her out of the church and got her phone number. The rest is history. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Little did we know that one day we would have 4 children and the largest injury firm in the world. All 4 work in the business. It's a family business. Did I ever see this coming? Hell no. We just worked very hard and treated our clients like we would want to be treated, like family. It's a full-service injury firm, auto accidents, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, Social Security, and insurance disputes. We're open 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit forthepeople.com and we can get to work on your case. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Welcome back, guys. 251 DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Corey says, thought I saw Kevin singing along to Clint Black until I realized he was talking to himself.
I was probably talking to Rach.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, I do talk to myself. So
Yeah, we have this thing where we don't like to look at each other when we talk.
Sometimes that is the case because you're like, I'm doing something on the computer and talking to you guys. Yeah.
Well, and also I can't see Wheels.
Oh, that's true. There's crap in between
There's
us.
stuff in between us. There's actually a webcam in between us that sometimes lines up perfectly with his eyes and makes him look like
Ooh, I look like a cyborg.
yeah, like from X-Men or something. What's his name? Cyclops.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I'm like
laser eyes.
My friend is.
I wish I had laser eyes.
See, there's a light and a computer between me and Kevin, and it makes him look like a little girl.
Oh, look at that. Well,
a pretty little girl.
Something to everybody else.
Angel.
You guys want some fun facts?
Yes.
Okay. Pythons rebuild their intestines from scratch after every meal.
It's pretty impressive.
Isn't that crazy?
But they don't eat much, right? Isn't that the thing? Like,
Well,
can
they
just-
eat big, but
Right.
they
They
only
don't eat
do it
often.
like, every
Yeah.
few weeks or something like that.
Have you guys ever seen? I thought you were gonna say after they like molt or that's not what it's called when it's a snake, is it? They just
Yeah,
shed their
yeah. When they
skin?
shed
I
their
think
skin, they're
it's-
molting.
I
it.
think they're
still
still calling
molting.
it that.
Have you guys ever come across a snake skin like that?
I did when I owned a python.
Oh,
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I bet it was gross.
But it was named
Um,
Elvis.
So the reason I got rid of my python was I would feed it little mice and gerbils, and I never felt great about it. But one time I put the little mouse in there, and Elvis, the python, wouldn't just eat them. He would like play with them.
Okay.
Or she, whichever. And so the mouse is like, wow, look at this place. It's like a giant condo. Ah! And it peed itself. And so I was like, I can't do this anymore. So, yeah.
And I guess the python wouldn't have interest if you fed him a dead gerbil.
No.
I don't think they will
Interesting.
eat anything dead.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-mm. The Energizer Bunny, I think we'd all agree one of the most successful ad campaigns of all time, was famous, but it didn't help sales. In fact, the lowest sales Energizer has ever had was during the years it ran the Energizer Bunny.
Maybe that's because it's a very stressful.
It is
to
stressful.
behold. It's
Yes.
like, oh, it keeps going and going and going.
Thank
that doesn't
you.
sound good to me. It needs a rest every once in a while.
Tornadoes are actually more likely to hit trailer parks. It's because tornadoes are most likely to hit places where the landscape makes a big change, like from tall buildings to farmland, and trailer parks are usually built just on the outskirts of cities.
All right.
These are some fun facts.
Thank you.
We're really learning a lot.
Last night I started the movie about the Joplin tornado on Netflix.
Oh, yeah?
Fascinating. You guys should watch that.
Do you know the name?
It's called Twister Caught in the Storm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to watch that.
Yes, or Twisters, one of those two. Yeah, it's mostly young people who were graduating at the time because it was like graduation night when it hit, and so people about your age. What year did you graduate high school?
09.
Okay, these guys are 011. But it's fascinating and horrifying. Like, we're supposed to have some weather coming in on Wednesday, and of course here in St. Louis there's always a chance of a tornado, but I don't know about you guys. I rarely worry like a tornado is going to hit my house. Winds knocking limbs down, yes, but like an actual tornado, I my anxiety is weird. But after seeing this thing, okay, so are we out of time? Crap.
We have 30 seconds.
There's a meteorologist who's covering it, and they're showing it on the screen what he's looking at, and he's like, I can't see the tornado. I can't see the tornado. Then he realizes his entire screen is the tornado.
Woo.
I'm Tom Ackerman, and welcome to this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. This month we are talking about colon cancer, and joining us is Dr. Will Chapman Jr., Siteman Cancer Center.
The best treatment for colon cancer is to prevent it from ever starting in the first place. And we feel that colonoscopy is the best way that you can prevent colon cancers.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
All right, if you want that golf course quality lawn, I mean, it's a lot easier than you think because, well, if you trust the experts, you don't have to be the one that figures out the formula. And, of course, the experts are at True Green. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, and it's a whole lot more affordable than you think. We've used True Green for 12, 13, 14, 15 years. I don't know. It's been a long time. I can't remember the time we weren't using them. And look, my lawn needs to be mowed here, and that's going to be happening soon. But it is so green, and it is so thick, and there are no weeds. It's phenomenal, and that is thanks to True Green. And there's a kicker right now. You can get 75% off your first service. Plus, with the price match guarantee that they offer, you know you're going to get the best deal anyway. And no matter what, they back everything up with a satisfaction guarantee. So if anything's ever off, they'll come back to your lawn and they will revisit between scheduled visits to make sure that it's right. It's all part of the promise that they make to you. So go to truegreen.com today, lock in that 75% off your first visit, and let the pros do the work while you enjoy the results.
The Zoo softball takes on top-ranked Texas in a huge weekend series. It's a weekend full of big promos, including free ice cream, a sunglasses giveaway, and post-game autographs, all during the final game of the series on Sunday Fun Day. Tickets are only $15 to watch this big-time softball. Make sure to get yours today at mutigers.com/tickets. That's mutigers.com/tickets. MIZ.
1041 FM, KMOX. News, talk, sports.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more, and as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code RADIO. SwishRadio.com, code RADIO.
St. Louis, your drive home just got a whole lot better. Introducing Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5. Get the latest local news, up-to-the-minute traffic, and exclusive St. Louis Cardinals insights, all in one power-packed hour. Whether you're stuck in traffic or cruising home, stay informed and stay connected to your city and your team. The Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX. Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, 51 degrees downtown at the Arch. In 2 weeks' time, another St. Louis police officer is injured while involved in a pursuit. Maria Keene is covering this, just back from a police hearing.
Yeah, Michael, St. Louis police spokesman Mitch McCoy says the officer was working a special weekend traffic enforcement in an area where they speed, and they observed a speeding car, tried to stop it, but then that car took off and a pursuit started. Here's McCoy.
The officer was at the beginning of exiting his vehicle to deploy spike strips. While that officer was exiting his patrol vehicle, the suspect vehicle crashed into our police SUV, striking the officer as well.
Now, that officer was not critically injured. They say, though, they put him in the police car and immediately took him to the emergency room, as they just did a couple of weeks ago with Officer Spieth. He was treated and released from the hospital. Live in the newsroom, Maria Keene, KMOX News.
President Trump has referred to April 2nd as Liberation Day. CBS's Stacey Lynn has more.
Some suggest the new tariffs are tools for negotiation on trade and border security, like a 25% tariff on any country that imports oil from Venezuela. Imports from China are being charged an additional 20% tax because of its role in fentanyl production. Trump says separate tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico are also intended to stop drug smuggling and illegal immigration.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says they've closed their review of how a journalist's contact was added to a group chat about attack plans.
Mike Waltz continues to be an important part of his national security team, and this case has been closed here at the White House as far as we are concerned.
President Trump claims there are methods that could be employed for him to serve a third term, but the language is clear, says Hofstra University Law School constitutional law professor James Sample.
This is unambiguous. He may not be elected to a third term via the 22nd Amendment, and he is also not eligible for the circumvention route that some have proposed, whereby, let's say, J.D. Vance would get elected as president and then step aside and have Donald Trump go from vice president to president.
The 22nd Amendment limits the president to being elected twice, and the 12th Amendment prevents anybody who cannot be president from being a vice president. The KMOX Business Desk, positive thinking was short-lived.
The surge in business optimism we saw after Donald Trump's election in November has apparently evaporated, with many companies putting their investment plans on hold. There are worries about the impact of tariffs. So economists are dialing back growth forecasts for this year. In the Philadelphia Fed's latest manufacturing business outlook survey, just 23% of firms expected higher capital spending this year. That's down from 51% in October. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index with Stifel's Scott Bedell.
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. Fireworks to the downside from the opening bell were mostly recovered as the day progressed. At the 3 p.m. closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average had moved higher by 418 points, or 1% to a little bit higher than 42,000. The Standard & Poor's 500 index was 0.5% higher at 5,611, while the NASDAQ Composite Index never quite made it to positive territory, falling 23 points at 17,299. The Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index added 0.2% at 1,490. Checking on stocks of local interest, Centene gained a little bit more than 1% at $60.71. Cigna up 1.25% at $329 even. Stifel Financial added 0.4% at $94.26. On the downside, Boeing fell 1.5% to $170.55, while Bayer Corporation slid 2%. They closed at $6.02. For KMOX, this has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.
A breezy northwest wind, the dominant feature as we go through our Monday afternoon with more and more sun. But that northwest flow has cooled us back quite a bit to below average temperatures. 55 for the high. It's going to feel colder out in that wind. Tonight, partly to mostly clear skies. Winds fade quickly at sunset, but it's a cold night. 35 for the overnight low. Tuesday, partly sunny, 59. More clouds take over Tuesday night. Wednesday, periods of rain and thunderstorms. There is a growing concern about thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon that could easily go strong to severe. So we need to keep an update on that. 75 on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Right now across the region, we've got clouds. It is 51 degrees, and the feels like downtown at the Arch is 45. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
It's never too early to start thinking about your retirement journey, and it's never too late either. You just need to know that the steps may look a little different. Listen to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. So I bought a Cardinal beanie to wear to opening day, and it's my new go-to beanie. It's so comfortable.
Is it?
It was $40.
Oh, boy, it better be comfortable.
$40 for a bleenie.
Bleenie?
But it feels good.
Saw you wearing that on TV earlier today.
I'm wearing it everywhere.
Hey,
sleeping in it.
If it's going to be 40, it better be good. So it's good to know that it feels good.
Isn't it? Like, you really can tell quality. I like to not think that because I mostly wear other man's clothes. But every now and then you'll when I needed some in my mouth. When I it's a cricket.
Is it a bug?
It's full. It's live cricket.
Dave, there's a bug on you.
When I needed that blazer and I went to Nordstrom's and I just got a really nice blazer, it's so much better than like a cheap blazer. I know that sounds stupid, but
no, it doesn't sound stupid. As someone who owns many cheap blazers, then you see someone in one that they paid a couple $100
You're
for,
like,
and
oh,
you're like, oh, that looks very nice.
That's how that's supposed to
that
look.
looks good.
I don't want to put you on the spot. Just say no. Do you want to talk about your purchase?
Nope.
Okay, fine. Do you do Razor's Edge for me?
Yeah, there's a couple of things we could talk about for Razor's Edge. The first thing, an MIT student created a device that can search the entire internet using just his mind.
What?
Yes. He created a headset device that allows people to search the internet using the power of their brains. So the device records signals when the user internally verbalizes a particular word. So I guess if you want to Google pandas or search the web for pandas, you have to be thinking like pandas in your brain. It's able to somehow pick this up, pick up the signal. This information is then sent to machines, which uses the internet to find the answer. So it's basically going in and it's reading your brain waves, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting that.
So it's not an implant. It's just reading from the outside.
Correct.
That's pretty fascinating.
It is fascinating.
There's no one ringing that bell. Once we can really, truly read each other's minds, or even like a lie detector that's absolutely 100% accurate that you can't beat, like life as we know it is over.
Well, also, if you can just think, I want to know more about this, and it just gets downloaded to a degree, right? Like
it's the Matrix.
Then there's no more dumb people. Everybody's the same.
Unless the internet is so swallowed up by misinformation that people are dumber than ever.
No, that's a great point.
We also never had that thought before. That's a really interesting thought, that if we really do get to the point with like brain implants, that if everyone had a 200 IQ, everyone's smart, no one has a 300, no one has a 150, we all
have access to the same information.
Yeah, really interesting.
It doesn't mean we'd all use it the same way, though.
True.
We would just have to measure intelligence differently.
True. Then we would separate each other by our characters.
Sure.
Wheels, what was the baseball team you were talking about last week that is banning cell phones in the clubhouse?
It's the Angels.
Oh, okay.
Who are playing the Cardinals the next 3 days.
Are they still doing that?
My understanding is yes.
Well, I thought of you this weekend when I was looking at this story. There's a new study that shows that people who are constantly distracted by their phones at work will just find other ways to procrastinate. If they don't have their phone.
Yeah,
dude,
I got the old ones.
Welcome to the entire history of people at work prior to smartphones.
No kidding.
Yeah, there were plenty of time. That's why they had this is why there's the thing called water cooler talk.
Yeah,
because you would just go away from your
3
desk
martini
and your work.
lunches.
And yes, exactly.
4 o'clock happy hours.
God, Rach, thank you for that.
I had to say something because last week I was like, maybe it would help. But then it's like, there's an actual study showing that no, it would not.
No, we've always done that.
We forget that.
And I'm sure when we were like, when all of us were either farmers or hunters or whatever, we did the same thing. You're out there hunting, you can't find anything, and you're bored, and you're like, oh, look at those birds. Oh, watch those birds for a minute. Ah, crap, there goes the ox. Yeah, I gotta go get them.
I don't want to just steal Razor's Edge, but you brought something up that I wanted to ask you guys. How, because I know they're different, and I think I know the answer, but I'm more curious what you guys think. How are hot takes different than opinions in your mind? Because it feels like hot takes is taken on a negative.
Yeah.
Hot takes are like controversial, like something that you don't think most people would agree with. Like if I said, hot take, I think water's actually bad for you and you should drink soda all day instead of water. Like most people would not agree with that. Most people would be like, that's a very, very stupid opinion. But if it's one you stand by,
but
point taken, because it's a correct opinion if a hot one.
See, a couple things, like hot take tends to be somewhat sensational, and unfortunately, 2 things tend to go along with them. One, a lack of forethought. You didn't really think about it. It's like, hot off the presses. I just thought this and I'm spitting it out. You didn't really think about what you were doing, which is what's happening in baseball all over the place right now because of 3 games. People are like, this guy sucks now. And man, they got magic bats. And it's just all this nonsense of hot takery. The other part of it is a lot of times it's intentionally inflammatory and the person offering the hot take doesn't really mean it. They're just going that way because that will get them the attention and the engagement that they're looking for.
Do you think your favorite Stephen A. Smith will intentionally cook up a hot take to go viral or something?
Oh, I think they all do that.
Yeah.
I think all of the big hot takers are like that. It's funny because I actually like Stephen A. Smith. I don't think he's a bad guy. And I think he's funny and he's not an idiot. But he knows the game and he plays the game, and I think he plays it too much. But then he has the nerve, like last week, to tell everybody else to calm down with all of their hot takes. Like, dude, you've made millions of dollars doing this, and you want everyone else to calm down?
Are the consumers of hot takes stupid, or is it just like, well, we all eat donuts now and then? So
I think it's just more that they're more casual. You know what I mean? Like the people that are really probably seeing them the most. I think the difference between it's not so much the intelligence level of the person or the people that are receiving them. It's how wide it spreads.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always something that at a glance either pisses you off or impresses you, right? It's always one of those things. So at a glance, you'd be like, oh, that's crazy. And then you engage with it. You retweet it or you listen to it.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you're like, it's really not that big a deal. But it's that first impression and it goes viral. So the hot takery tends to go viral fast.
Okay, I've got something that I'd like to get your hot takes on.
Mm-hmm.
There was a filter that was going viral on TikTok a couple weeks ago, and it made users appear heavier than they are. So a lot of times it would be like skinny, attractive girls being like, oh no, what if I used this filter? And then it would add maybe like 80 pounds onto them, and they'd be like, this is what I would look like if I was bigger. And people got mad and they said, this is like really toxic diet culture stuff. Why is it funny if you're bigger? Like, why are you laughing about this? And enough people complained that TikTok actually ended up removing the option to do this filter on their site. What do you guys think?
I totally understand the point that people are making about it being negative and toxic. I think we overreact too much to that. I don't think that someone else making themselves 80 pounds heavier and laughing at it should bother you as much as it does, but I get it. I understand it. You know, if everyone was making themselves bald and like, oh my God, I wouldn't get any girls if I didn't have any hair. Like, of course it's going to sting a little bit to me, but I don't think I would complain, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of anyone who already has stuff going for them. And a lot of times, by the way, because of work they've done, right? If someone's in great shape, they did that.
Mm-hmm.
They put in the work, they put in the effort. Like, that's fine. But let's just say you had a weird accent. Would you like it if people made fun of it?
Like,
yeah, if you had the Irish accent, or because every person has flaws. There is not a flawless person on this planet. If you were just somebody that, you're really good looking and you're generally smart, but you say dumb things twice a day, would you love it if people made fun of you twice a day every time you did it?
I would take that deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the point is that everybody has their sensitivities, and I don't think you should feel good about picking on other people's when you'd be upset if it was yours.
Yeah. I've always said,
be consistent.
When I got into radio 25 years ago, I realized that everyone has their own little roped off garden.
Yeah.
People used to think I was hilarious making fun of this group or that group or doing this voice or doing that voice until I would hit theirs. And then it wasn't funny anymore. And I just remember kind of that sinking in like, oh, it can be really, really funny to make fun of other people. But when it's you, it's just not funny.
Yeah. And again, I say this as someone, I don't care if people make fun of me. It's fine. And whatever. It can be, most of the time it makes me laugh. But not everybody sees things that way. Not everybody has the ability to shut it off and like, okay, they're just being jerks. Doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
Because those people that are picked on a lot are picked on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing you need is more.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how is that not some form of bullying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at me. I'm hot and you're fat. Like, that's basically what you're doing.
Yeah.
Jim
This
Thorpe.
is what I would look like if I was fat.
This is that's how Kevin talks to me in the office.
Yeah. Because
He
I'm
comes
so
in-
slender.
He comes in ripping through his t-shirts and he's like, I'm
Yeah.
hot and you're fat.
Yeah.
I'm hot and ripped and you're not. What do you think of that?
But no, some users who had complained about the filter said they were really happy that TikTok took it down
I get it.
because it's like, yeah, social media ultimately is supposed to be a fun, happy, lighthearted place. And I totally get why, if that's your body type and you see people going like, wouldn't it be the end of the world if this was my body? Like,
Right.
yeah, that's
No reason to live.
really
What- I
offensive
mean-
and not cool.
There are all kinds of ways you can spin this filter because people are like, don't be so sensitive. All right. So what if there's a filter that makes you look like the nerdy kids that get picked on in school?
Mhm.
Oh, look at me. I'm going to get picked on now. Like, is that okay?
Mm.
I mean, again, it's okay.
Those filters absolutely do
it-
exist.
Whatever. I don't know if they
Like
do.
nerdy glasses filters and stuff.
If they do, like, it's again depends on the way you're doing things. But at the same time, do we really need to pick on people that get picked on all the time anyway?
Which do you think would bother you more? Looking at yourself through a filter that made you less attractive or more attractive, knowing that you're not as attractive as it's making you look?
More, I guess.
Yeah, because if I'm looking at something that makes me less attractive, I know the second I take this off, I'm back to
better
being
than
me.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, sometimes I will be like playing with Snapchat or whatever, and they'll put like the super pretty one on. I'm like, ooh, and then the filter comes off. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Have you been injured in an accident? You need a personal injury law firm that wins. Onder wins. For over 100 years, we've been fighting and winning for St. Louis. $5 billion in negotiated settlements? We've got it. $300 million in verdicts? Done. Voted best law firm by STL Today 2 years in a row. Onder wins all the time. Car accident, trucking accident, workplace injury. No matter the case, let Onder win for you. When the stakes are high, we're the team you can trust. Wondering what your case is worth? Call now for a free consultation. And remember, we don't get paid unless you win. Dial 314 or 618-9-million. That's 9 then all zeros. Or visit onderwins.com today. Onder Law. Winning is what we do.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes to the IRS. Billions in tax relief is now being made available to struggling taxpayers, giving thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings away to those who qualify. If you're facing wage garnishment, threatening letters, audits, liens, levies, or already in a payment plan, you can now expedite the resolution to your tax problem, end collections, and even qualify to reduce a large portion of what you owe. Stop IRS Debt has established a relief hotline for you to call to check what savings and options you qualify for. Dial 800-759-3413. With many people facing job loss and rising cost of living, these special IRS initiatives are designed to aid delinquent taxpayers with the relief that they need to get a fresh start. For a free consultation to see what savings you qualify for, call 800-759-3413. 800-759-3413. 800-759-3413.
99 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors for savvy homeowners. Since 1926, they are the only authorized dealer of overhead door brand products in the city. Always look for the iconic red ribbon to be sure you're dealing with the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. For same-day garage door repair 24/7, call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis or schedule online overheaddoorsstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Let me take a different tack today with Susan L. Ward than I usually do. Susan L. Ward is a divorce attorney. And having been divorced myself and having done many, many divorces as an attorney, most of them were non-contested, a couple of bigger ones, but I was not in any sort of universe like Susan L. Ward. But I've been there, done that. It's going to be difficult. There's no such thing as an easy divorce, not emotionally, not legally. The courts are still recovering from COVID. You're going to show up to court thinking you're going to get divorced, and it's going to be a settlement hearing, and you're going to get mad, and you're going to get mad at your soon-to-be ex, and you're going to say, I want you to this, and I want you to that. So you need a steady hand. Because way too many attorneys in divorce and other areas will use and exploit your emotions to pad their bills. It's just a fact. Susan L. Ward will not. She, in fact, will tell you things you don't want to hear. She will tell you the truth. And a lot of times in a legal proceeding, especially a divorce, which is by its very nature emotional, you may not want to hear what she's telling you, but she's going to give you the benefit of respect. And as a fiduciary, as your attorney, to tell you this is what you're looking at, this is what my professional opinion is. That's what you need. You don't need someone who's going to be your best friend. You don't need someone who's going to be your therapist. You don't need someone who's going to blow sunshine. You need a practitioner with decades of experience who will tell you the honest truth. That's Susan. 314-783-9400, stlfamilylaw.com.
The Biz Dash returns as St. Louis's healthiest happy hour. Combining fitness and fun, it's a perfect team bonding activity for any size business. All levels of runners and walkers are welcome. Join us this spring at Energizer Park, home of St. Louis City SC, for the 10th year of the Biz Dash, the ultimate office party and kickoff to summer. Thursday, May 22nd at Energizer Park in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. With 56 million winning tickets last year, anyone can win big. So set your destination to winning, like gas stations, grocery stores, or anywhere you can buy a ticket. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Hi, it's Jeff Sachs. The swings of the market should not affect your retirement plan. Your income in retirement should be independent of the market swings. If you're up all night worrying about it, we need to review your plan, and today is a great day to do it. Let's simplify your retirement at retiresafestl.com.
You asked, we delivered. KMOX, now on FM. Crystal clear sound at 104.1 FM.
.323 DGS. You know, I was thinking about last night. Like we've had music going way back, and I always make fun of in the 1904 World's Fair. They wanted the hippest dude they could find, so they got John Philip Sousa to come in and play. But I was thinking about like in the times when it was all just classical, like if Mozart was like the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like now we can go like, oh, have you heard? She was a fast machine. She kept it. We're like, oh my God, I love that song. Like, how would they do it back then? Would they just like hum it? You know what I mean?
You mean along to the ones with no lyrics?
Yes. Yeah, because
Yes.
that's all they had. And they would just be like, oh my gosh, have you heard Mozart's latest?
What
You're
if they
like,
all just made up their own words?
I don't think they would have even been able to hum it because you couldn't reproduce it, right? You know the lyrics to, AC/DC because you've heard them a million times. But they weren't reproducing music back then.
Oh, I see what you're
So
saying.
you either
so
paid
you probably
for
only
the-
heard it once.
Yeah, you only heard it once or twice, and you'd hear it.
That's an interesting
and it
take.
would be like I think like a crazy transcendent experience because of something instead of something that you hear all the time at
So
your.
I
Well,
guess.
wait a minute. Hold on. Because people were learning how to play these pieces in their homes. Like
Right.
You may not hear.
You get the music.
You may not hear the real symphony orchestra, but people will hear it, and you'll get the sheet music, and
Yeah,
people will learn
Sally's
how to
playing
play
it on the harpsichord.
Yeah.
Counterpoint.
I think that the average person wasn't hearing the music constantly.
They weren't hearing it
I think
ever.
you
It was
weren't
only rich
hearing
people.
it on demand. I think that you maybe could learn to play certain parts of it, but for something like a big orchestral, Mozart thing, you were probably only hearing that once if you managed to go to a place where he was playing or the orchestra was playing.
You know, another thought I had, unrelated, was so I played a million sports and a million activities, and I bet you total I have 5 photographs from all of it, right? Like I have no photographs of running track, none. And now, like a baby born within the last 10 years, especially a baby born now, their entire life is documented. Video, photographs, like just constant. It was just so different. When I was a kid, it was really a big deal if you had like an Instamatic. And then you would take it to, what was the little huts called? Photomat. And then a week later, you'd pick up, it was just so hard to get images of people.
When you're like, I hope my photos turned out well.
Yeah. And you'd get them, you'd go through like, oh, that's bad. That's good. Oh, look at the, it's bad.
You could spring for the doubles.
But I just have I have very little documentation of my life, of my early life, which is weird. Do you have much? Because you're kind of a tweener in the gens.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of like baby pictures and stuff. There's only one video. There's a VHS of my family vacation to the Grand Canyon, and I was 4, and I never watch it because I want to send it into like Legacy Box or something.
You don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, but I don't. Then I guess a decent amount of photos. But from the time I was like 20 to now, there's not that many. Other than like on the DGS Facebook page, I'm just not like a huge picture taker. And I'm always saying like I'm gonna get better about that, and I just never do.
Yeah, you're not a big selfie taker.
No.
You take a lot of pictures though.
Yeah, I
like
do.
on our walks.
Yeah, I do. I like to yeah, I like to take pictures, but I very rarely end up in those pictures myself.
Yeah. We've already posted a couple of photos of me on KMOV today, but I found one where I don't look fat. And so I sent it to Rach. I'm like, is it overkill? Because I don't look fat in this one. She's like, oh, we'll post it. Fat ass. Tell you guys about Zero Res. As you know, every month they have a DGS deal. This month it's $119 for 3 rooms of wall-to-wall carpeting. And I rarely do this. Let me just walk you through what that means. Let's say that you just do the carpeting and you make an appointment for 9 a.m. The truck will pull up about 8:45 and they'll just sit there so that they're on time. They'll come to the door. They will introduce themselves. They'll put on their booties. You will walk them around the rooms that are going to be cleaned. If there's any sort of spills or any sort of traffic areas, or this is where the dog likes to go, just let us know and we'll let you know, okay, this looks great. I think we can have this thing looking brand new, or this is pretty rough. We're going to do our best. We'll see how it goes. If you are not happy, even if you're being a little unreasonable, just if you want it to be done again, invoke the 30-day Gotta Love It guarantee. We'll come out. We'll do our very best to make you happy. It's $75 off your air duct cleaning. We also do every kind of flooring. We do hardwoods. We do tile. We do linoleum. And we do couches and chairs. 314-474-2020 or ZeroResSTL.com.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. If you have exposed brick or stone in your garage, basement, or fireplace, this would be a great time to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. The Morelli team can work 12 months a year on the inside of your home. Tuck pointing is the removal and replacement of old and missing mortar on a wall or chimney. When you tuck point your home, you strengthen your structure, you prevent water damage, and you add value to your property. The Morelli team is expert at matching the color of the new mortar to the color of the old mortar. And I know because the Morellis have tuck-pointed patios, walls, and chimneys at 2 of our homes here in St. Louis. Morelli is a recipient of the Better Business Bureau Torch Award and the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. You can also research their reviews on the Google, Angie's List, and Better Business Bureau websites. Morelli Tuck Pointing at 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
We take you now to Dave Murray's forecast, but make sure you keep listening to the DGS. He's going to give his full forecast in the next segment.
A breezy northwest wind, the dominant feature as we go through our Monday afternoon with more and more sun. But that northwest flow has cooled us back quite a bit to below average temperatures. 55 for the high. It's going to feel colder out in that wind tonight. Partly to mostly clear skies. Winds fade quickly at sunset, but it's a cold night. 35 for the overnight low. Tuesday, partly sunny, 59. More clouds take over Tuesday night. Wednesday, periods of rain and thunderstorms. There is a growing concern about thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon that could easily go strong to severe. So we need to keep an update on that. 75 on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This traffic report's a service of Interpark Holdings. Got trouble in North County with a crash eastbound 270 before West Florissant. White lane's closed. It's jammed. Back to about New Florissant on eastbound 270 right now. They were also clearing a crash. It was in the right lane. It's hard for me to tell right now the way I'm looking at it if it's out of the right lane or not. But southbound 270 about midway between Page and Olive. Traffic on South 270 is a solid jam back at Dorset. And then it's still slow on South 270 from 64 to about Doherty Ferry, 44 midway down to Gravois. Southbound 170 Delmar to Brentwood is bogged down. Westbound 64 Hampton out through McCausland's a little slow. In St. Charles County, just a little busy at Highway K. Really doesn't look bad out west for you this afternoon. If you're on westbound 44, the right lane's at Lindbergh. Southbound 55, we had a crash around Gasconade. It's backed up south of Arsenal down through Bates pretty solidly. Then there's a couple of slow pockets approaching Z to McNutt, south of McNutt down to Highway A. Emergency repair work going on another day of it. Unfortunately, it's a new one that just popped up. Westbound 5570 before 64. Right lanes are closed. Traffic westbound is backed up through 203. Make game day parking easy with iParkit. Not like me telling you about it. With 2 convenient locations on Clark Avenue, right next to the ballpark. Download the iParkit app and drive in and out using your license plate. Choose iParkit for convenience and peace of mind. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
St. Louis, your drive home just got a whole lot better. Introducing Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5. Get the latest local news, up-to-the-minute traffic, and exclusive St. Louis Cardinals insights, all in one power-packed hour. Whether you're stuck in traffic or cruising home, stay informed and stay connected to your city and your team. The Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Experience the exhilarating atmosphere of a Cardinals game. Join the sea of red in the wave around the stadium. Feel the rush of excitement as a home run lights up the sky with fireworks, bringing the whole ballpark to their feet. Nothing beats the thrill of watching the Cards get the W with the final out at the plate. It's more than a game, it's an experience. Visit Cardinals.com for tickets and info. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
There is no better way to enjoy America's favorite pastime than cheering on the Cardinals with your family at Busch Stadium. From the thrill of watching the game to the kid-friendly activities, food, and fun, the ballpark has it all. Make magical memories as you cheer together for every home run, double play, and Cards win. Your family's summer tradition starts here at Busch Stadium. Grab your tickets today at Cardinals.com. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgaier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey for Window Nation. You need relief from high heating costs this winter, and Window Nation can help. Window Nation's affordable, high-quality, energy-efficient windows will keep your heat inside, lower your monthly utility bills, and keep your home comfortable year-round. Right now, get 2 windows free for every 2 you buy, plus 0 down and no payments or interest for 2 years. Offer ends soon, so schedule your fast, free estimate now at 866-90-NATION, 866-90-NATION, or online at windownation.com.
Today, the Cards. Angels. Cameron Total Access 550. Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Dave Murray joins us. Hello, Dave.
Hello there. Are we streaming all the time?
We are.
Like during commercials and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I put my underwear on.
Why start now?
Yeah. We don't need, what was that guy's name? Who's that guy?
Jeffrey Toobin.
We don't need a Toobin incident.
You know what? I almost texted you guys. I was watching CNN the other night, and he was on. And I almost took, and I did take a picture of him, and I was going to send it and go like, am I the only one that just can't take the guy seriously anymore?
No, I look at the situation and I go, why do we have to hear from him? I mean, I'm glad that he's apologized and it's fine, but like, you're always going to be that guy. Like, why does CNN can't seek their expertise from anyone else?
A lot of other smart guys out there.
Well, here's the thing. What he engaged in, I'm in a glass house on this one, right? I mean, it's not like I can give him trouble for what he did, but the way he did it, the recklessness with which he did it, and then the outcome. Sometimes your outcome is enough to put you out of the game.
Yes. Plus, everybody sees him on the screen. What's the first thing they think?
100%.
They're not going, man, this guy's an expert. He knows stuff. They'll be like, yep, I remember he was doing.
I remember what he did.
Yep.
Hand the camera down.
Okay.
It's one thing, like, if it was like, oops, I left my camera on as I was walking out of the shower. That would be seriously, like, that's a whole different thing.
That's Hot Wheeler.
Well, whatever.
A lot of people pay good money for that.
Yeah, well.
Imagine him walking out of that shower.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different channel.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
So, how was yesterday? Did we get what you thought we were going to get?
Yeah, for the most part. We thought most of it would be just to the south and east of St. Louis. That's exactly where it was. We had some pretty good, strong. I don't think they ever got severe in Metro St. Louis. Did it delay the game, Wheels?
Yeah, I think they had a little one. It wasn't super long. Yeah.
No. So most of it just off to the south and east and southeast. And they were pretty good storms.
Yeah.
And the tornado watch was up and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Another
Dave-
interesting week coming up.
Dave, have you watched? I was telling the guys I watched about half of it last night. The new Netflix movie about Joplin.
I have not.
Oh,
but,
dude, check it
I want
out.
to see that.
Yeah, it's
Having
called-
lived through that in a sense.
It's called Twisters Caught in the Storm, and it's really good. And I'll just relate this one thing, as I told these guys. At one point, the meteorologist is looking at a screen, a live shot, and he says, "I can't see the tornado. I'm sorry, I just can't see the tornado." And it was because it took up the entire screen.
Yep.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, that also had an event to the south, across the south and southeast. There were wicked severe thunderstorms that morning, and power got knocked out to a lot of states in the south and southeast. So they had, and then another severe weather event happened in the afternoon. That created the Joplin thing, and a lot of folks had no idea what was coming because there's no power.
Yeah. How are we looking this week? Said it's interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, we're chilly, no question about that. We're going down to 35 tonight. That's below average. Will seem cold, above freezing though, obviously. Sunshine on Tuesday, but the winds will be increasing Tuesday afternoon. We're about 10 degrees warmer, 62. A lot of clouds move in Tuesday night, keeping it windy. 55 for the low. On Wednesday, an unsettled day. I'm going to go with a mix of clouds and sunshine, though clouds will probably be the dominant feature. It stays windy, and there will be scattered showers and thunderstorms. I still think there is a high threat for strong to severe weather Wednesday afternoon. Now, exactly where that's going to happen, I don't have a good feel for that yet, but it should be eastern Missouri and much of Illinois. The work should come with that. It'd be a fast hitting thing, and probably 2-3 p.m. until about 7-8 p.m., the prime time in that window, 75. So we really need to stay alert Wednesday afternoon. Could affect the ball game. Thursday, rain developing. I think the morning will be dry, but rain, just rain. It's not a thunderstorm situation come Thursday, 62, and the rain will stay with us Thursday and Friday. Kind of a soaking rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The heaviest rain that will bring some flooding will be to our south, southeast Missouri, and southern Illinois. But a little bit of an unusual situation for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Things normally don't get stuck, and this one will get stuck a little bit.
Yeah, Robert's saying that the Wash U 13 carnivals this weekend, how they looking, doesn't sound great.
Saturday is very iffy. It should be. Sunday looks okay, but Saturday not good.
Okay. Corey saying we need a weekly Dave Glover update on his thoughts on the current plot of The Pit. I have not watched last week's because this coming week is the finale, and I'm waiting to binge both of them together.
Oh,
and I couldn't be more excited.
There you go. We started watching The Studio last night on
I keep hearing good things about that.
And that's the reason I actually turned Apple Plus back on. We couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
We watched 2 episodes, just could not get into it.
Isn't especially a series. It could be a movie. It could be a TikTok account, but it's typically series that we all know that feeling when I'm like, Rach, you have to watch The Pit. And she gives me maybe. And I know she's not going to. And it's like a Jehovah's Witness standing at your door. And you're like, no, trust me on this. There's only 144,000 of us. It's like when someone doesn't watch, like I've never watched Breaking Bad. And I'm pretty sure Nick is going to just disown me at some point.
You would like it, David. I don't know why you're avoiding it.
It's a good
I think
show.
You would really like
not to
that
do
show.
the thing you just said, the noise you put. It is really good.
It's the commitment. I've watched the opening episode of Breaking Bad twice, and it was so good. I'm like, I got to get out of here.
And that's like one of the
It's
worst
going
ones.
to take over my life. Oh, really?
Yeah, I would say so. It's not the
I feel like
strongest.
I've seen it all on TikTok now.
I also have watched it a few times. I've rewatched it a few times on TikTok. Better Call Saul, which is the sequel / prequel series also. TikTok's great for just watching like 3 minutes of something at a time and being like, I remember that. That was cool.
I hate that.
What is the best show you've ever seen? No holds barred.
Game of Thrones.
Golly. It could be Breaking Bad. Could be. I'm a big Justified fan, but I don't know if it was necessarily the best or if I just liked it.
Justified's
so much.
great.
Lost is also, I think, a really incredible achievement of television making. I'm not so sure it was the best show ever, but it might be the most well-made show.
Mm-hmm.
I love the new Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah.
It was on for 10 years.
Oh, that
I
show's
thought
a blast.
With James
I was really
Conn.
disappointed that was going away.
Yeah, that show's a real blast. That was like my mom's favorite show.
Right.
She watched that all the time.
The best is probably, I mean, my favorite show ever is probably 30 Rock. But the best show I've ever watched is probably True Detective season 1.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Nice.
Pretty darn good.
Better than Frasier?
Flat circle.
Yeah. I mean, Frasier's great. I'm not saying it's like the greatest show of all time. I've been in a Frasier phase lately.
I get it.
Are you still in the Frasier phase?
No, because I got to a point where two characters that I've been waiting to get together have gotten together, and then it was like, well,
now you're bored with it.
what's the rest of the show gonna be about?
That was
then?
like
they're just dating. It's boring.
That was like all of TV in the 90s.
Yeah,
like
that
people
was pretty
only
much,
watched
yeah.
because the
Moonlighting,
characters.
yeah.
People only watched because the
Friends.
characters hadn't hooked up yet, and the logic of the producers was always exactly that. Like, well,
Yeah.
if we have them get together, people aren't going to stop caring about it. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Headlines,
I
Rach?
proved them right. Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. So, according to a new survey of 1,000 U.S. parents of adult children by the website savings.com, 50% of parents are financially supporting their adult children. Of those contributing, 83% help with groceries, 65% assist with cell phone bills, and 46% with vacations, which I found very interesting.
Okay, let me talk in stereotypes. There were exceptions, but when Dave Murray and I turned 18, for the most part, we were like shown the door. Hey, it's been great. Good luck in your career. Let us know when you have grandkids. And we made our way. Do you think the modern day people in their 20s and maybe even early 30s, that they do it because they can, because their parents allow them to come back or, pay their phone bill or whatever it is? Or is it really that much tougher?
I think it's probably both. I think there's more things to pay for now. Like you didn't have a cell phone payment that was $150. It just didn't exist. And then things like streaming services are not a necessity, but everyone has them. So you're like, oh, I want to get that. There's tons of things that take your money now that maybe didn't exist back then.
Yeah.
But I just know just from looking around at folks, it does seem like parents are much more likely to be like, I'll help you out with this and that.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just softer parenting in general. Yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if you can continue to help your kids and that's how you want to spend your money, like go ahead.
Well, I think part of it is, and there's all kinds of data about how wealth is distributed by generation and age group and all of that. What existed for my parents when they were in their 20s and 30s does not exist now. The environment doesn't exist where you can just go get a job that has a pension that covers all of your household expenses for the whole family. That doesn't exist now. So if you're under 40 or if you're mid 40s or younger, you've never been in that environment. And I think something like, I mean, it's crazy. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I think baby boomers, like that generation, has more than half of the wealth in the country. And I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't. I'm just saying that when that group, and how many times have we talked about that group is the one that won't retire from politics. They have longer careers because they're healthier. You're living longer, healthier lives, right? So there's less of the cycling the way that it used to be. But most importantly, careers don't exist the way that they used to, where one job would pay for 2 cars, a house, the kids to go to school, and pay for college. It just doesn't exist like that. And who made it that way? Well, all of us that are older than the younger kids made it that way. Gen X and the boomers and the silent generation, we are all the ones that made what it is now. The younger kids didn't make that. They're just in it. So until the olders, like us, Gen X and older, until we figure out how to make it better for them, what else are we going to do? They can't just burst through the door that doesn't exist.
He's making really good points, but I'm staring at his body. Can I tell you what I'm thinking?
Please.
Shower.
I'm literally
Walk out of the
staring at
shower.
him. And all I'm thinking is, in another 10 to 15 years, my legs will be the same size as his arms.
Yeah, give me another 6 months. I'll catch up.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This traffic report's a service of Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano. They're still working the crash in North County, eastbound 270, just before West Florissant. White lanes closed. Traffic's jammed back near New Florissant on East 270. They cleared that crash officially now. South 270 between Page and Olive. South 270, though, is slow from Dorset all the way down to about Manchester, and then Big Bend most of the way down to Gravois, pretty busy. So just a lot of slow traffic going south. South 170 bogs down at Delmar. Westbound 64 from Kings Highway out through Clayton Skinkers on the brakes. There's a slowdown. 94 midway to Wing Haven and a couple of spots west of 364. Westbound 70, slow stuff. TR Hughes past Highway K. Southbound 55, Arsenal down through Bates. You've got the usual construction delay, a jam north of Z down through Point to south of Z. There's a crash between there and McNutt on southbound 55, so that's getting worse now. That's new trouble. Westbound 5570, emergency repairs going on at 64. It's a jam back through 203. Eastbound 70, heavy east of the Mutual Veterans. Eastbound 64 is slow east of the Poplar. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. Hi, Margaret at Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano. We all have one thing in common. We're all going to die. Do you have an estate plan? Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision that should not be based solely on advertising.
At the Williams residence, everything looked kind of the same from the outside, but inside, their lives just got way happier. 3 years of inflation and debt had crushed them, but for the first time, they had the cash to secure their retirement, pay off bills, and plan their future. They didn't win the lottery exactly. They did a genius financial strategy called the Sell and Stay program from Truehold. It's easy. Their home's value had rebounded greatly, so they quickly sold it to Truehold and banked all that equity in cash. But since they weren't ready to move, they could stay put with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold even paid their property taxes, home insurance, and essential home repairs. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a Truehold offer now while your home's value is high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out after your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Spring is here. Time for daffodils and road construction. Do your part to avoid a work zone crash. Pay attention, slow down, put the phone down while driving so we can all go home safe. Join the 11th Annual St. Louis Work Zone Awareness 5K, Saturday, April 19th in Chesterfield. Sign up today at KinghamOX.com/events. That's KinghamOX.com/events. Brought to you by the Missouri Coalition of Roadway Safety.
If you're trying to sell your home, there's only one group of agents in town I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers, getting your home sold fast and for top dollar. Check out thegelmanteam.com.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
Now, 90 and 60. A look back at the latest St. Louis City SC match. Presented by Woods Basement Systems, Inc.
Wolf rolls one out wide. Bukhari closing in on the city box. Going to his right. Nielsen trying to keep him contained. Steps by him, slips it past Uzuni. His first goal in an Austin kit will make it 1-0 visitors. Gives it back to Hebert, top of the 18. Quickly back to Cello. Cello side box. In there. Fulham tries to stuff it home. It goes awkwardly off his boot. Back head by Kessler. Spills out on track. It's deflected. Final whistle blows on a rainy afternoon. Final score, Austin FC 1, St. Louis City 0.
Up next, City SC faces Sporting KC Saturday night. Pre-game at 7, kick at 7:30 on Y98.
Tripping over uneven concrete? Don't replace it, raise it with concrete leveling.
Call the all things basement-y experts, Wood Basement Systems, for a free estimate at 618-249-5503 or learn more at woodsbasementsystems.com.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX 352. Wheels got a short stairway in you?
Yeah, let's do this because we were kicking it around in the office today, and I saw it today. I wasn't really planning on it, but they're remaking again, or they're making new movies based on the Chronicles of Narnia books, which I loved as a kid. Rach, I know you loved them as a kid. Andrew loved them. Did you read them, Dave?
I did not.
Okay, so they're incredibly good books. They're fun. Obviously, there's a lot of symbolism in there, and as a kid, I don't know that you necessarily pick up on that. But it's a really interesting story, and the first set of movies and they're going to be doing them again. And everybody knows the main character, right? Like the hero is this big lion, this big male lion named Aslan, who is kind of like a Jesus figure in the story. C.S. Lewis was very religious. But the people, Greta Gerwig is, the maker of Barbie and all that. She's making this movie, and they're talking about casting Meryl Streep as the big male lion. And I don't understand. Unless you're going to alter the voice to make it sound like, the deep Aslan lion dude voice, in which case then why maybe, I don't know, maybe you just want her ability to hit certain notes or, to get the emotion out and you're going to alter it. Just to me, that's a weird thing to do. And I think you're about to tank your movie by doing that. Whether that's justified or not, that's how you tank a movie. Because to the people that care about a franchise, a lot of it is about staying true to the character. So why do people get mad when comic book movies get things wrong? Because they care about the story, and they've known the story, and they've known the character since they were little kids. And when you start to mess that up, the people that would be the diehards are the ones that go away. Look at all the mistakes Star Wars has made with their choices and how it alienates fans. I don't understand. I don't care about your creative vision or anything. There should be something about being somewhat true to the original material to the point where, all right, we could change some minor things, but do you really need to go for the big change? Because now it looks like you're just trying to make a point, or you're just trying to get attention, and you're not just trying to tell the story, which is a phenomenal story. Does that bother you? I mean, it doesn't make me angry. I'm not going to protest. But I can tell you, if it doesn't sound the way that I expect it to, I won't see it.
Yeah, it doesn't make me angry. It doesn't make me upset. It just makes me go like, I don't understand the point of doing that. There's also, I'm looking on a Reddit thread about this right now, and someone brings up the great point that Aslan's mane is actually a part of the plot point at one point.
It's a huge part of the plot,
and
yes.
It's like, oh, so what are you going to do with that in that case? Like, how are you going to make that match up? Like, I don't want to give a spoiler alert.
Right. If you
So
don't
are they
know the
making
story.
her a female lion? Or
Well, we don't know.
Okay.
There's no clarity there. The story was that an offer was put out to Meryl Streep to play this character. And my first thought process was, okay, that's really weird considering what that character is.
Yeah.
Farming's hard. To feed the world, farmers have to work the land, brave the elements, and fight the battle against weeds. Weeds reduce crop yield, so prices go up and everybody gets less to eat. But 50 years ago, farmers got a new tool to fight weeds, glyphosate. It kills weeds while protecting the harvest. Time and again, it has been approved by the EPA and by leading regulatory bodies around the world. It helps enable practices that reduce erosion and keep soil healthy, which is good for the earth. Farming's hard, but it's a little easier with glyphosate. Learn more at go.bayer.com/glyphosate, paid for by Bayer.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey. And if you're thinking about selling your home, I know you have a ton of questions. Fact is, selling your home in this real estate market isn't as easy as it used to be. Just look at the headlines. One small mistake could cost you thousands. So before you sell, take a few minutes and get to know Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She is St. Louis's real estate expert. I've been telling you about Gloria for years now. She has written guarantees that will give you certainty and the most money in today's rather uncertain market. And you're always in the driver's seat, knowing exactly how much you'll make on the sale of your home from the very start. That's because Gloria Liu will guarantee upfront and in writing to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or Gloria will buy it herself. Take it from me and call Gloria today at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Discover true luxury at Missouri's first and only standalone Genesis dealership, Genesis of St. Charles. Thank you for making us the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2024. True luxury isn't just built, it's engineered with precision and passion. Explore amazing cutting-edge technology, redefined elegance, and exhilarating performance in the new 25 GV80. A new level of luxury awaits you at Genesis of St. Charles. Visit us in-store or shop genesisofstcharles.com. Based on GMA sales records.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, they're clearing the one truck involved in the crash, but the right lane's still closed for the time being. Eastbound 270, just before West Florissant. It's still jammed back to about New Florissant on eastbound 270. And in Jefferson County, if you're headed that way, they're still working with this injury crash. It's blocking the left lane, southbound 55, just south of Z. Traffic is jammed. I think we'll call it south of M now. And we have emergency road repairs going on westbound 5570 near 64 in the right lanes. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 4 o'clock, we've got clouds. It is 53 degrees downtown at the Arch. The clock is ticking down to the rollout of the U.S. implementing reciprocal tariffs, but the details on who it might impact and for just how much remain a mystery. CBS correspondent Kelly O'Grady says clarity may still be days away.
We know that we are likely going to get an answer Wednesday, but that is why you have seen so much uncertainty in the markets. Not only do you have companies unsure, where to put their money, what countries to turn to, are they going to be ones that are tariffed? But you also have investors worrying that all of this anxiety that we have seen reflected in consumer confidence numbers could translate into a pullback in consumer spending.
The SpaceX 9 crew has been back on Earth for about 2 weeks. Those two astronauts in space for about 9 months longer than expected.
Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore spent nearly 300 days in space after their Starliner had multiple issues. As for how they're feeling now back on Earth.
Feeling good since we've been back almost 2 weeks now. Actually went out and ran 3 miles yesterday, so I will give myself a little pat on the back.
Wilmore says they're meeting with Boeing this week to go over the issues that kept them up in space for so long.
There were questions that I, as a commander of the spacecraft, that I should have asked, and I did not. At the time, I didn't know I needed to. And maybe you could call that hindsight, but I'll start and point the finger and I'll blame me.
Matt Piper, CBS News.
The chimp crazy lady pleads guilty in federal court.
This is Stuart McMillan. I was in the courtroom as Tanya Haddix pled guilty to 3 felony counts, 2 perjury, 1 obstruction of justice. She looked just like she did in her HBO program, long blonde hair, long eyelashes. The judge asked her plea. She let out a small sob and said guilty. Assistant U.S. Attorney Hal Goldsmith laid out the charges against her as they would have been presented to a grand jury situation, but she waived that, stating that she lied in federal court about the whereabouts of a movie chimp named Tonka.
The KMOX Business Desk fitting student loans into the budget.
Cracks are forming in the student loan market just months after pandemic-era breaks went away. More borrowers are finding it tougher to pay off their loans. TransUnion says roughly 13% of student loan borrowers are at least 90 days past due, up from 8.4% in early 2020. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel up 417 points to 42,001.
More and more sunshine returns as we go through our Monday afternoon, but we are dealing with the northwest flow. It's a little breezy to windy out there throughout the afternoon. 55 for the high, below average temperatures, and it's going to feel colder if you're caught in that wind. This is a quick cool snap. Tonight, partly cloudy. Let's call it cold. 35 for the overnight low. We will stay above freezing, though just barely. Tuesday, partly sunny, 59 degrees. More and more clouds come in Tuesday night, 53. Wednesday, a day of interest with periods of rain and thunderstorms. Some of these storms Wednesday afternoon could be strong to severe. It is an afternoon. We need to stay up to date on the weather on Wednesday, 75 for the high. In fact, Wednesday is the start of an unsettled stretch of weather the rest of the week and into this upcoming weekend. But concerns growing about Wednesday afternoon. There's some fine tuning to come, but I'll keep you up to date. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
At the moment, we've got some clouds. It is 53. Feels like it's 45 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
And Weber's World is sponsored by Weber Chevrolet, WeberChevrolet.com.
Welcome back, guys. DG Ask 404 1041 FM KMOX. Sweet 16 brought to you by Weber Chevrolet. Skip is traveling today, so we're going to do it on our own. And I came up with this idea. I think it's a good one, but it might be a bust. It's just the way good ideas go. Like, you know, you can just get high on your own supply, and then you're like, everyone's going to love it. So it's basically Sweet 16 of best places. Okay. It's not like France. I'll do the first one, the ballpark. You know, when you talk about a baseball field being like a cathedral and just, you know, we're going to play two boys and hot dogs and the sounds and the sights and the smells. One of my very favorite places to be is the ballpark. Kind of feel me?
Damn it.
Did you do it wrong?
You just took mine.
Oh, sorry about that.
Well, we're all shocked Wheeler had the ballpark down.
I know. It's probably better to make me work a little bit.
Me?
Yes.
The fair.
Ooh, what?
I'm thinking specifically like those outdoor fairs.
Like a carnival or like
gotcha.
Like a Renaissance fair?
Like a carnival.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when you said de fair, it sounded like one word. I'm like, what's that?
River de Fair.
Yeah.
No, like a fair, like a county fair,
Gotcha.
or even like, you know, the mall fairs, the mall parking, the famed mall parking lot fairs.
Like the kind with like the sparkly speedboats that go that kind of thing. Yeah. I feel you.
Perhaps some lemon shake-ups, perhaps some funnel cakes.
Those don't go together. Those will give you a tum-tum.
Yeah. But funnel
Gotta
cakes
power
are great.
through.
I like to get a caramel apple at the fair.
I'm afraid my teeth will
Caramel
come out.
apple or candy apple?
Caramel.
What's the difference?
Candy is like hard and
It's like it's a different type. It's reddish and it's I don't know what it is. It's
Oh, I was 60 when I figured that out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I'm scared of caramel apples for the same reason Dave is. I just don't trust. I don't trust the old chompers to stay in place.
you got to get them from Schnucks or something and then cut them up and eat them like that.
Yeah, they are good.
You like
though.
the ones with
Yep.
the nuts or no nuts?
I like no nuts better. but the nuts are fine.
Wheels?
Gotta have nuts.
No, but you like your.
I'm just waiting for the. Wait, I had
Wheels,
that queued
nuts
up.
or no nuts?
I had that queued up. I had to go. The man cave.
Nice. There you go.
Your spot, man.
There you go.
Sit in your gaming chair. I don't have a gaming chair, but I have a recliner that serves as that.
Hmm.
You know,
What does a gaming chair do?
well, I mean, whatever you want. Some of them have little speakers, so you get surround sound right by
Anything you
your
want.
ears. Some of them are like, mechanically reclinable like that. They have little armrest stuff, places for your drinks. I want one. That's going to be in my next couch. We're going to have
largely, I think the idea is because some people get them just as like regular office chairs. 'Cause
Right.
They're supposed to be like ergonomically supportive of
right.
somebody.
It's supposed to be helpful for when you're sitting there all day binging
Yeah.
games.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Remember, Andrew, when you were going to spend about $5,000 and buy me that Gran Turismo setup
Still can.
so that I could end up in Formula One racing?
Still
Yeah.
can. Easier than ever.
Just like the movie.
Yes, exactly. Rach?
So when I really got in the zone to think about this, the first thing that came into my head, because you had described it as like great spaces to be in,
Mhm.
I love the library.
Love it. That's
Perfect.
great.
Okay,
You
good.
guys get it.
Good.
Brilliant.
Even though I'm an agnostic, I will say church. And specifically, I love the Carmelite down in Clayton Road in Ladue, where anyone of any faith can go in and pray. And they have the incense, and the nuns are running around behind the wall because they're cloistered. So, whatever your religious or spiritual place is like that. Andrew.
Rainforest Cafe. Now,
That's his church.
that's my church. Now, this is really more for like all theme restaurants, but I didn't know how specific we wanted to get. And when it comes to the specifics, I decided to narrow it down to the Rainforest Cafe. And they're delightful thunderstorms while you're having your cheeseburger.
I do
and
remember going to one of
curly
these in
fries.
high school and thinking it was pretty fun.
I remember going to the one in Chicago, and it freaked Phoebe and or Nick out, and we had to leave.
Because of the animatronics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. And if you don't get seated in the right spot, like there are parts of Rainforest Cafe that are just like normal restaurant.
Yeah.
And that's no fun.
Yeah. Wheels.
I don't know how general or specific I should be on this, but I was going to say just the water, but should I specify the lake versus the ocean, or does it matter? Because I prefer the ocean, so I'll just go the ocean.
It's a pretty big space.
Yeah, but like the beach though.
Yeah.
Not all of it.
Wheels went ahead and claimed 75% of the planet.
Yeah. no
well, I
kidding.
mean, no, if you're gonna go big, right? I'll go to beach.
Gonna go water.
But I really like the water part of the beach better, like jet skiing and stuff in the waves. Like that's the better way. Action water.
Man, I've only been jet skiing once, and it was the most fun I've ever had in
It's
my entire
awesome.
life, and no experience will ever come close to topping it.
You know what keeps me from jet skiing, and it's really stupid. I hate. It's not I don't like. I hate being in a position where I might look stupid for not knowing how to work a mechanical thing.
Mm.
And most people who get on jet skis, they have to show you because not many people own jet skis. I get it. I've done it, and it was a ton of fun, but I miss out on not a lot in life because I don't have that many opportunities to run machinery. I don't know how.
Next time we're
do you
on a
feel me at all?
forklift, Dave.
Dave, I've never related more.
Really? You're like that too?
I don't like to. There are things I'm like, I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to struggle. I don't like people watching me. Like, especially if it's in front of other people. Like
Yeah.
trying a new thing
Yeah.
in front of strangers. I'm like,
Like
no.
I've walked by 1,000 of those bird scooters downtown. I
yeah.
would love to ride one of those, but I just don't want to look dumb not knowing how to do it.
I'll tell you, bird scooters far more complicated than a jet ski.
See, I feel vindicated now.
Jet skis are easy. They're made to be super easy because people just like buy them. Like there's no like you don't have to be licensed to use one. You
Yeah.
just buy them and go throw them in the water.
I'm gonna go with the old dive bar.
Yeah, nice. I like
Of
that.
course, it's
Oh, yeah.
one you enjoy being at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just
Mhm.
fill in the blanks, whatever that means to you. But it's a fun vibe.
Yeah. I will go with a concert. El Monstero comes to mind. Rach, when you and I think Close and a bunch of of our friends went to see Counting Crows.
Mhm.
Remember that when we're sitting in the VIP and they started playing the intro to Long December and we're like, oh my God. It's just
Pretty fun.
It's just great. Concerts.
I was there too.
Yeah, Andrew was also there.
I guess.
Who else was there?
Tim
Skip,
Convey.
Skip
Tim
was
was Tim
there.
with us?
Tim wasn't with us, but he was there and we hung out with them. Skip was there.
Yeah, Skip. I think it was us three, Close, because Close was there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Skip. And then Skip had a couple people with him, but they were like stranger kids. And we were
Hangers
like,
on.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were like, let's not talk to them.
Wheels. No, or did you go?
I have not gone
Okay.
yet. I will say the zoo.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Zoo's
Those are
fun.
good. Zoos
I
are
love
good.
the zoo. I was just there. We fed the giraffes. We did a behind the scenes tour where we fed giraffes lettuce through a little gate, and it was super fun.
A lettuce gate.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Far less scandalous than it sounds.
You make these up as you go, don't you?
No, because
Yeah, he's
I was
stalling.
My next answer was going to be the pit at a concert, but that's too much like the concert, so
Yes.
I don't want to pick that.
Yes.
Maybe
Maybe you could pick air since you've bought water.
Oh, that's a great idea. No, I had another one. Son of a gun.
Oxygen
You
rich.
know, there's this thing we call show prep in the biz.
Well, I mean, I found this out when I walked in the door today.
You mean hours ago?
Yeah, that was 5
Yeah.
hours ago.
Yeah, that's not a long time. That's not a long time at all. I don't know what
I've
you're talking
never
about.
heard him on such bad footing. He's like,
Well, I mean,
honestly,
I
whenever we
know, I'm
argue, he
just-
usually wins.
I know it's on bad footing. I'm just playing now.
We can come back to you.
Yeah, go Rach. I have one and I
Okay.
lost it.
How about the mall? And not just
Oh.
I understand a lot of malls are not so great nowadays, but just think of your ultimate mall
Yes.
experience and put
Yes.
yourself in that state of mind.
Yes. I remember mine. I was with my boys, and I wasn't with my boys much because I didn't have boys, but I was with them, and we were at St. Clair Square, and I was probably 18, and I was wearing jeans, penny loafers, a yellow button-down long sleeve shirt with it's going to sound bad, but it wasn't, brown kind of stripy sweater vest.
Okay.
And I felt so hot. And we were like, looking at girls and getting orange Julius's and stuff.
And when you're from the part of Southern Illinois that the three of us are from, going to St. Clair's Square is like
It's like the
big
Miracle
time.
Mile.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. It's like traveling to a destination.
You're like, wait, there's a White Castle a block away.
There was a Chick-fil-A, I think. I think it used to be in the before it moved across the street. I think it used to be in there, and that was like Chick-fil-A might as well have been the French Laundry. Like delicious, exotic.
Yeah,
couldn't get it anywhere else at the time over in
Yeah.
Illinois.
I thought of it.
Okay.
I like being in the car. No, because like it
Heavens
can be
Camaro.
whatever you want it to be. Can it be quiet? It can be a concert. It can be sports talk. It can be Camo X. It can be Dave Glover show. It could be phone time. It can be anything you want it to be.
it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Good
Yeah.
save.
Took him 5 down the list to hit Dave Glover show, but
Ooh, I want to give Wes a
Well, I
shout
heard
out.
it all before I get in the car.
This is so nice. Wes says, "Hey guys, I just wanted to shout out from Florida. I've been here 15 years, originally from Granite City.
Planet Granite.
I've been listening since the beginning. It makes me feel connected to St. Louis." Thanks, Wes.
Good
That's
to hear
really
from
nice.
you, Wes. I will see your car and raise you a bathroom.
All right.
Oh, you are not going to like what that is up against.
Churches. Yeah. That's kind of,
And it
if you
happened
need to know
organically.
anything about me, just
there's
give
your
that
church.
match.
I mean, the bathroom is kind of my church.
Right?
Sometimes you're doing some praying in there.
It is certainly my location of worship.
Praying that wasn't an organ that just dropped. Never seen a pancreas, but Andrew.
I will say a department store.
Okay.
Oh, the worst.
Just like oh, okay.
Is that
I
too
like 'em.
similar to mall?
I guess it could be.
What do you guys think?
In which case, someone else could have mine.
I'll put it down. I'll put it down.
How many we need?
It's fine. I got another one too.
Oh, that's not bad.
No.
This might be a little specific, but there's nothing cooler than being in the front car on the biggest, fastest roller coaster you can find.
Okay.
I
enough.
love that.
So, car 2.
The
another
front.
car.
The back one, the very back one's fun too, because you get that whip when you go over the hill.
Yeah.
But the front, the visual one is the better in the front.
Okay, I have kind of a esoteric. What about your friend's house? Just being
Flush
at
it
your,
out.
Just like being at your friend's house and you're comfortable and you're happy and their house is your house at that point.
Also, whatever happens over there is not your concern. Like all my friends have kids now, so I go over to their houses and their kids do some like crazy stuff and makes a huge mess. And let me tell you what, when you don't have kids, walking out of someone else's house that has kids while their kids are like freaking out and losing their minds or whatever, and you're just like, aha, wash my hands of that.
So
that is great.
If we need any more, I had a quiet dinner with a significant other.
I like that one.
Okay. I also had sort of like Kevin's man cave, but for me, I don't have a man cave, but you're alone cozy time.
Oh, I like that
Like
one too.
mine's the couch.
Which one should we put of those two?
You know what other one I had, which I've never done? The club.
I've never been to the club either.
The what? Oh, they're not that fun.
Did you go to clubs in Miami?
All the time.
Really? Like,
I mean,
the
they're fun.
classic-
They're fun when
Did
you're
you dance
19.
like this?
No, I did the Running Man.
I'm picturing
That's
like
the
a
only
disco.
move I had.
I'm picturing like a disco.
It's
Is
not
it-
a disco in the
Okay.
90s, Andrew. That would have been the 70s.
I'm gonna
I don't
put
know.
Club
I'm a
up
child.
against Rainforest Cafe.
Okay.
One of these has flashing lights and is very, very fun, and it's not the club.
Should we do a couple or should we?
Yeah, let's do like 3.
Okay. Do we sound like we've given up?
Non-committal.
Because it feels like we've given up.
Let's do, I don't know, 3.
These are Sweet 16 of best spaces. The ballpark versus the mall.
Ballpark.
Ballpark.
Yeah.
BP. The fair, like a carnival versus a concert.
Concert.
I'd rather be at the fair.
I would
say
rather
the
be
fair.
at the fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fairs are fun.
Man cave versus the zoo.
Wheels just Wheels went like this after we all just said the fair.
It's because he's the
I
only
don't
one
like-
who
I'm
he's
not
the
gonna
only
lie.
one who really loves going to concerts.
hate
No,
fairs?
but I don't like fairs.
What about them?
They're boring.
Boring?
Dude, they have
Boring.
rides.
They got the
Rocco
fair
Plains.
there.
A, the rides suck and they're dangerous. B,
Well, sure.
the food is good, but you're going to feel like crap later in the day.
That's
And then
everything I
it's just crowded and the parking sucks. It's always bad.
Yeah, you just described every day of Andrew's life.
Yeah, I had 3 pieces of Papa John's for lunch today.
I
I
want to
feel
take Kevin
horrible.
to the Jersey County Fair so bad.
He will have. Oh, that would be great.
The
We
only
can
thing
do
I
it this
ever,
year.
the only thing I ever liked about the fairs, my favorite thing is when you get to the Dunkin' booth and you can knock someone in the water. That's it. That's the part I like.
I don't think they do those anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think we're too woke.
I kind
now.
of like the clowns when they rag on you. That's kind of fun.
The rag clowns.
Yeah.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This traffic report is a service of the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. They officially cleared the crash eastbound 270 before West Flores, and just a little slow approaching that area, so not bad at all really now. Westbound 70, a little busy at the city limits, a little slow at Highway K. Again, that's not a bad route home. Westbound 64 isn't bad in the city, just from the Science Center to McCausland, slow. Lindbergh out to Ballas, though, it's crowded. There's a slowdown from 94 midway to Winghaven, and again, 364 to 70. South 270 is off of the pace from Page. It's really heavier from Olive to Ladue, but it remains slow all the way down to Gravois. Southbound 170 from Olive to 64. That's busy the whole way through. Southbound 55, Arsenal to Bates is slow. Still working that crash in the left lane, South 55 to South of Z. It's a solid jam now at Highway N. Downtown eastbound 44 slow from 55 to the Poplar. Westbound 44 backs up between the bridges. Westbound 5570 emergency repair work at 64. It's jammed back to 203. Eastbound 5570 approaching 255 to 157. You have a roadwork jam. Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Join the Delmar Gardens family at our spring open house extravaganza on Sunday, April 6th from 1 to 3 p.m. Explore independent and assisted living at Chesterfield Villas and Garden Villas, or skilled nursing at Delmar Gardens of Chesterfield and Delmar Gardens West. Visit one or all locations. Enjoy our hors d'oeuvres, sweet treats, wine, champagne, entertainment, tours, and more. Win 2 months free and up to $500 on moving costs at the villas. Restrictions apply. Transportation is available. RSVP today at delmargardens.com.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more. This doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Good morning, doctor. Doctor? Hi, doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial, RetireSafeSTL.com. Retirement security means a peace of mind knowing you have the freedom to live the life of your dreams and to wake up each day without financial stress. Let us simplify your retirement today. RetireSafeSTL.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Bluetail Medical Group is a pioneer in regenerative orthopedics. As joints break down over time, we lose our mobility and a life without pain. Surgery is not the only option. Dr. Matt Bays, David Crane, and Chris Wolf can use your own body's healing power to regrow soft tissue. No surgery, no long recovery times, and no drug dependence. Patients walk out of the office and resume full activity in a few days. Reclaim your joint health by calling Bluetail Medical Group at 636-778-2900 or visit BluetailMedicalGroup.com.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education, but that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
When you've been hurt in an accident, you need a law firm that wins. Onder wins. For over 100 years, Onder Law has been winning for St. Louis. With over $5 billion in negotiated settlements and over $300 million in verdicts, Onder wins. Voted best law firm by STL Today 2 years in a row, Onder wins. Whether it's settlements, verdicts, or awards, Onder wins. If you've been hurt in a car accident, trucking accident, or hurt on the job, Onder Law will get you the money you deserve. At Onder Law, winning is what we do. So when the stakes are high, Onder wins. Call us today for a free consultation. We don't get paid unless we win for you. Dial 314 or 6189 million. That's 314 or 6189, then all zeros. Or visit us online at onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
KMOX is now on 104.1 FM, the same great station with even better sound.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 425. If you're ever wondering what our conversation is like on the breaks, if you're thinking like, wow, what must the DGS, it must be intelligent and pithy. And it was like a hot afternoon at a nursing home.
It was great. Somehow we got onto Walton Goggins. I'm like, oh yeah, he was in this movie and he was a nobody then. What movie was that? I don't know.
What was yours?
It was The Bourne Identity, by the way.
I was like, he's in a commercial and it's about Goggins goggles, and I can't think of what the commercial's for. Like, it was the most pointless story I've ever told, and that is saying a lot.
We were all like, good talk. Good talk, Rach.
Like, Dave, this is your team. This is your...
how can we lose?
You can just trust fall anytime. We've got you covered.
Okay, Sweet 16 of spaces. The man cave versus the zoo.
Man cave. Zoo. Tough
I'll
call,
give you
though.
man
I love
cave.
the zoo,
You're
too.
having a tough day.
Yeah,
Oh, it's fine.
I've not been in many man caves, but it does sound nice. I mean, I'd like a she shed of my own someday.
Not since you said if someone approaches me with a loose ding dong.
I'm having quite a day on the radio. Good thing this is going out over FM. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We saved all of our A stuff.
She's not even allowed in the man cave, though. It's fine.
The library. I'm not sure what that meant.
Yeah.
Because it's a man cave.
girls allowed.
No girls
No,
allowed.
it's not no girls allowed.
It's all
Women
girls
Haters
allowed.
Club.
Yeah, it's select.
Hey, you made the cut.
I'm not like the other girls.
I do have to know you.
Your wife comes down. Kevin, dinner's ready.
Yeah.
Why is Rachel here?
Yeah.
I just want to check out the man cave.
You're like, get out of here, Susan. Select girls. The library versus the car.
the
Car.
library.
Library.
Can't rock out at a library.
Yeah, you can if you have headphones.
All you're gonna get is a shh.
Library. They
If
got
you two need to
books.
go home, I understand. I'll go library. Does that make it library?
Yeah, it
I
does.
really, not ironically, want to call it a library.
That's what Andrew's calling it.
Library. I have not called it anything but a library. Maybe ever. I think I'm just.
Well, you've stuck it on me.
I think I've passed the irony, and I just say library now.
The church versus the bathroom.
Bathroom.
Sometimes the bathroom has really
Sorry,
good
Jesus.
vibes. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Jesus.
Sorry.
I just spend way more time in the bathroom.
Sorry,
is all.
man. I'm going bathroom.
You know, Jesus got it.
He gets it.
He
gets
spent
it.
all that time around the disciples and
Yeah.
people wanting their eyesight back.
That's what those commercials he
That's
gets
the
us. That's
commercials
what
say
they're
he
talking
gets
about.
us. He knows
he
where I'm
gets it.
coming from.
Rainforest Cafe versus the club.
Rainforest Cafe.
Club.
Rainforest Cafe.
Club.
All right, we got to go to Captain Roger Brand.
Well, I'll take the club just based on my past. So, yeah, I
right.
enjoyed that time.
Based on my past.
What was your favorite club?
Oh, well, there was 64 West,
Yeah.
and which used to be Stan Musial and Biggie's back in the day. That was a hot one for a while, and Brio in the Westport area back in the 80s. That was a hot one too.
There you go. I think I hit on Roger once at 64 West.
There's nothing like it. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the timeless voice of Cardinals baseball.
A swing, and there's a high fly ball. That's hit the deep left field. It might go. It's a gunner.
Now, you can experience every pitch, every play, every win in crystal clear FM sound.
Big fly, Alec Burleson.
You ask, we delivered. KMOX, now on FM at 104.1 FM.
The easiest way to park on game day is with iParkit. iParkit has the best game day parking lots in St. Louis. iParkit has 2 convenient garages on Clark Avenue, located right next door on either side of the ballpark. The iParkit game day garages have multiple entries and exits to accommodate all fans, no matter where you're coming from or where you're headed after the game. Download the iParkit app and drive in and out using only your license plate. For your next game day experience, use iParkit Garage for convenience and peace of mind.
At 4:30, this news update is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. 54 degrees, feels like 45 downtown at the Arch. President Trump's tariffs announcements this week are expected to upend decades of trade policy.
Wednesday is what the president calls Liberation Day, when he'll announce so-called reciprocal tariffs, essentially raising U.S. import taxes to match what other countries charge on American products.
It's time for reciprocity, and it's time for a president to take historic change to do what's right for the American people.
Spokeswoman Caroline Levitt says the president will roll out the tariffs in a Rose Garden event with his cabinet. The changes will likely lead to chaos for global businesses, while putting the U.S. at odds with allies and adversaries alike. Economists say the higher taxes usually get passed on to consumers, but it is possible the president's threats could get other nations to lower their own import taxes. Sagar Magani, Washington.
A new technology and learning lab opens in the Tandy Recreation Center in West St. Louis.
Mayor Tashara Jones tells KMOX this has been in the making for a couple of years.
Most of it was funded through ARPA, through the American Rescue Plan Act. So along with our community Wi-Fi, and as part of our $5 million investment to digital inclusion through the Economic Justice Action Plan.
Jones calls the Economic Justice Action Plan a living, breathing document and says it's already in action in the community. From the Tandy Recreation Complex, Maria Kina, KMOX News.
Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index with Stifel's Scott Bedell.
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. Fireworks to the downside from the opening bell were mostly recovered as the day progressed. At the 3 p.m. closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average had moved higher by 418 points, or 1% to a little bit higher than 42,000. The Standard & Poor's 500 index was 0.5% higher at 5,611, while the NASDAQ Composite Index never quite made it to positive territory, falling 23 points at 17,299. The Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index added 0.2% at 1,490. Checking on stocks of local interest, Centene gained a little bit more than 1% at $60.71. Cigna up 1.25% at $329 even. Stifel Financial added 0.4% at $94.26. On the downside, Boeing fell 1.5% to $170.55, while Bear Corporation slid 2%. They closed at $6.02. For KMOX, this has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.